15 years, dozens of waves, countless magazines, and exactly 670 LEGO Ninjago sets. And in this video, we're going to be going through every single one of these sets, including the biggest D2Cs, magazines, poly bags, and as up to date as the latest X1 charger. So essentially, the way this video is going to work is that we're going to start with the 2011 sets and work our way slowly up to the 2026 sets. And for your sanity, I will keep a number counter at the top left of your screen. Now, I have a task for you. Since there are 670 LEGO Ninjago sets, there are a ton that are going to be underrated and missed. So while you're watching this video, I challenge you to find 3 underrated Ninjago sets and put them down in the comments below. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
So yeah, let us start with 2011.
Alright, so for our first set here, we have the 2011 spinner set named Kai. It's literally named Kai. It has 19 pieces. It was $10 back in the day, which is crazy because that's like 52 cents per piece. And that's like $15 right now. Like right now I could waltz into a Target, get the $10 Lloyd versus the Earth Monster spinner. I'd get 2 dual molds on the figures. I'd get a really nice looking spinner for the price of this, and technically actually cheaper, which is like, damn, Ninjago has come far in value. Then again, there's also a ton of trading cards in the set, and since LEGO of course doesn't specialize in making cards, these could have cost LEGO more than maybe another company like Pokemon, and that could have added a lot to the price. Following Kai, we also have a Zane spinner as well as a Cole spinner at the same price per piece, but these two actually are around for 4 months from January to April rather than the 7 months that Kai got. And also to give you a taste of the prices, they are and they get expensive. Kai was $99, Cole was $83, and Zane is $53 new. If you have it new, you can sell it for these prices. I believe these prices are because of how limited those releases are. Like current spinners today are like around for at least an year, but those spinners were around for like 4 months or 7 months, and they were really hard to find at that time itself, so now they're worth so much more. The next 3 spinners we have are Chop-Off, Bonzle, and Crazy spinners, all 20 pieces for $10, but are worth around $20 today rather than $90 like the others. For the next spinner, we have Cole's DX spinner, which released in April, 1 month before the other Cole spinner was going to retire, which is kind of funny. Probably not something you would see today. DX Zane also got one, but DXJ and DX Kai didn't. Next up, we have the first Nia spinner thus far, which actually has the first Nia minifigure, or just the first Ninja minifigure here to get a legacy variant. The Knuckle spinner also released in this wave alongside Crunchjaw and Whiplash. Next up, we have the Mountain Shrine set, which has 2 minifigs, a spinner, and honestly a really good Mountain Shrine build. For the next spinners, we actually have the Sensei Ruinous kimono, as well as the Garmadon for the August wave. It's crazy how we've gone through so many sets, and this is the first time we've seen Jay. But yeah, no, this is a Skull Motorbike set, $15 back in the day with 157 pieces, which is really solid, honestly. This next set just has 1 more piece, but is $20, comes with Crazy and Zane, and it is the Ice Dragon Shard. Next up, we got the Turbo Shredder, and wow, they went all out with the vehicles back in the day. Now we get like none. This has 298 pieces, looks giant, is only $30, has a J and a Cole minifigure and a Skullkin. That literally looks like a steal. So this is the Spinjitzu Dojo, which I assume was the knockoff monastery for 2011. It came with the Woo Spinner, Zane, and Knuckle for roughly $50, which is kind of expensive, and it only had 373 pieces, but it did have some big pieces, so I guess that kind of makes up for it. Okay, I really do wish we still got sets like these. This is the Ninjago Battle Arena with $50 with just 2 minifigs and 463 pieces. It is really cool looking. There's a lot to do with it, and I would love some more spinner-oriented builds for Ninjago, but I mean, this is quite expensive for what you're getting. This set is awesome, and I love the inclusion of another spinner, but this is $80, and the only ninja you get here is Jay. Now, the set is awesome. It's worth like $1,000 today. It is ridiculous. It has 4 minifigures and 645 pieces. This is a poly bag that was part of a newspaper promotion in May of 2011, but it was also available in Walmart. It was roughly $3.47 and had 20 pieces, and of course, the Zane minifigure. This next set is the Spinjitzu starter set with 57 pieces, 2 minifigs for $20, which just doesn't feel it for the price. It still is a very interesting idea. I do wish we had this kind of arena for the current spinners we get. I really like the inclusion and like the use of spinners in these past waves. These are amazing. Garmadon's Dark Fortress. This set is actually peak. This set is so big. It is $70 for 518 pieces, but those pieces look big. Not to mention Samakai, Kai, Neo, Garmadon. It just looks amazing. Next up, we have the Skull Shark 5 515 pieces, 60 bucks. This is the one I think I want the most out of everything because this was at the very start of the pilots with the blacksmith shop and everything, and I think it would be so perfect to have all together. Speaking of blacksmith shop, we have the terrible blacksmith shop that released in June of 2011, $19 for 189 pieces, which isn't terrible, and you got, I believe, Crunchaw and Kai. For this next set, we got 2509 Earth Dragon Defense. This has Rocky 227 pieces and a crazy price of $35. Now, I'm pretty sure that's because of the big dragon mold, but yeah, that is expensive with only 2 minifigures, that being Cole and some skeleton rando. Next up, we have the Ninja Training Outpost, which was not a polybag, which was an actual Lego set that retailed at $5 that had Cole in it for 45 pieces, which is just crazy to me. That is such good value. Okay, now one thing that this wave isn't good at doing is trying not to have repetitive builds, because this is the third skull car I've seen. But here we have Knuckles ATV, which is $25 for 174 pieces and 2 minifigs, which, I mean, for the time and a spinner, I guess it was solid. For the next set here, we got the Skeleton Bowling set. This set retailed for $30, had a nice little spinner, 371 pieces. This is literally perfect. Lego, please give stuff like this to us. It is so cool to have. Like, this looks like such an amazing play. Next up, we have the Ninja Ambush set, which retailed for $7. Yes, just $7. Came with Cole's Side of Quakes, 2 minifigs. Man, that is awesome. There's a really nice little build there. I think this is great. Wow. This next set is awesome. Fire Temple and a Fire Dragon. 1,174 pieces for $120. This thing is giant. I feel like the temple today would alone be $120. So it's really cool to see such good value. Now, the temple build is honestly kind of simplistic. You can look at the roofing and see exposed studs, and a lot of the build feels more playset oriented rather than display, which of course makes sense, but it just doesn't feel as good quality as some of the builds we get today, which is just really interesting to see. Next up, we have a Brickmaster exclusive that was exclusive to the US. It is the Mini Turbo Shredder, which I believe Brickmaster is some kind of book series, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, it's a really nice build for a small mini shredder. This one was also given away with the Sun newspaper and was also a $15 GWP, which is awesome. This set is probably worth $3, but still, I think it's just a really interesting little build that is great for kids. This one was also a newspaper promo, this being a little J set. It was also released at Walmart for $3.47. That's so nice. It's so easy to get a JBD figure just for like $3. That's crazy. The next set that we have here is Kai's Dragonflight. This is a really nice small little dragon and a Kai mini figure for about a $3 polybag. I believe this was also given away with the newspaper. So yeah, no, still interesting. The last polybag that we have here is Jay. Yeah, it literally is Jay. It was only released in the UK, which is interesting. I don't know why this exists, but cool, I guess. Probably also another $3 way to get Jay. Next up, we have 2 3-in-1 packs. This one being worth $150 now, and then this other one being $430. Closing off 2011, we got this Ninjago Battle Arena spinner set, which is actually just really awesome. I love how there's like these bouncy things on the side to keep the motion going, which is, again, something Lego needs to do today. Please bring this back, Lego. There's another way to get Woo in this Ninjago weapon set and lenticular card, and then there's also this Ninjago card shrine and this Ninjago promotional item that was in a true event in December of 2011. Sadly, that plate that says Ninjago is not printed, otherwise I'm sure tons of people would have went out of their way. Now, I have a big warning for you. I killed Brick Separator Man because you didn't want him breaking your Lego sets, but he somehow found his way into the Cole mech set. So now not only is he extra buff, but he has built-in brick separators to destroy your sets. And if you don't want him to do that to you, make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can finally hit 30K. I think we're starting 2012 off quite strong with the Flying Pyre Truck Ambush. This set has 452 pieces for $50 with 4 minifigures and Zane's little ice motorcycle. Next up, we have the Destiny's Bounty at a pretty steep price of $80 for 680 pieces. Now, that price makes a bit more sense when you see the sales that it has and the big mold it has for the head. And then alongside that, you have 6 minifigures, that being Skill, Slithra, Garmadon, Jay, Zane, and Woo, which I actually referenced in my custom Evil Bounty build that I made for the 15th anniversary set wave that I was making, having all the same figures, just instead of Woo, I had Lloyd. Next up, we have this very interesting and creative Fang Pyromech set that honestly looks awesome. It has Fang Sway here and Kendo Cole, which is an interesting figure. I really do like the way they made a Scythe. I kind of wish they did something like that now, but Either way, it's a really cool set. $25, 255 pieces. Not terrible. LEGO brought the Spinner Battle Arena back again with Kendo Kai Ratla over here. This set actually has 2 dragon heads that you can push up and down to hit the little spinners while they're battling. However, this does come at a pretty steep price of $40. But I think the 418 pieces probably means it is pretty sizable and probably worth the money. And again, Ninjago creativity was really something back in the day, because for $50, you could get this 450 piece Wrecking Ball set. This is the Vampire Wrecking Ball. Came with Kendo, Cole, Lloyd, and Fangdom. Okay, so this next set isn't a spinner. It looks like a $5 booster pack, which is interesting. Came with Cole for $5. Awesome. This one is Lloyd's booster pack. And lastly, we have a $5 ZXJ before we move on to the training set LEGO set. This was 219 pieces for $20. Another way to get Kendo Kai, which is really interesting. And I guess a pretty cool spinner battle arena thing. But honestly, at this point, I might be getting sick of all the spinner builds. Next up, to continue our Jan wave, we got a $10 spinner for Lasha and a $10 spinner for the Kendo Zane. We also got a $10 spinner for Snappa and another $10 spinner for Samurai X. Apparently, all these spinners lasted on shelves for somewhere between 3 and 5 months. Next up, we're going to be moving to the starter set LEGO set. This is a really nice little starter battle pack. Comes with ZX, Spinner, Cole, and we also got Ratla. $20, of course, with 62 pieces. Moving on to the March wave, we are starting off with Kai ZX, who lasted around for 3 months, and then a Feng Shui, who also lasted for also 3 months. Speed to the June wave, where we have the Lasha Bite Cycle, just another amazing LEGO set. This is something I totally could see LEGO making today, and isn't just super creative, but it's still really good for what it is. This one retailed for $25 and had 255 pieces. This next set is super iconic and is better priced at 452 pieces for $40, this being the Samurai Mech set, coming with Samurai X, Pythor, and Chokon, which is just an amazing figure selection. Next up, we got the Ultrasonic Raider. This set is honestly the one set that I want the most from this wave. It just looks amazing. It looks great. This is so iconic to me. It appeared in the Ninja Ball Run episode, so yeah, no, I love this set. It comes with all 4 main ninja plus Pythor and a snake henchman. Anyway, this set retailed for roughly $80 for 622 pieces, which just is an absolute steal for what you're getting here. For the next set that we have here, we have the Epic Dragon Battle. Yes, it is named that. It comes with 915 pieces for $120. And yeah, that name doesn't capture the craziness that you have here, because you have the Great Devourer, a jail cell, and the Ultra Dragon, which is just crazy. You have an absolutely amazing figure selection with Garmadon and all the golden weapons. This is just peak at its finest. Continuing June with the $5 booster packs, we have Zane over here, and then we have Memzo. And then now we go back to the $10 spinner sets with Spitta, the $200 NRGJ set, which is currently valued at roughly $1,000 new. And then lastly, we have Fangdom. NRG Cole wasn't that great, but it was still worth $200. And then lastly, we have the weapon pack set, $20 for 73 pieces, and a couple minifigures, including NRG Kai. Just continuing on, we have a $5 booster pack for Pythor for the September wave. We have Lizaru's little $5 booster pack. We have a spinner for Slithera at $10. And then we have Lloyd ZX, the Lloyd minifigure, which they could reveal, I guess, in September, for $10 in a spinner, which is just amazing value. LEGO, yes, would not do this today with their crown jewel of their minifigures. To replace Jay, we have the release of NRG Zane with this wave that is currently valued at roughly $176 new and sealed. Breaking our $10 trend, we're going to be downscaling a little bit to the $7 Venomari Shrine set, a very nice little set and an easy way to get Zane. Next up, we have the Kai's Blade Cycle set. This retailed for $15 with 188 pieces. For the next set, we have Jay Stormfinder coming in with 2 minifigures. Looks like Jay didn't get armor here because they couldn't fit him in. And honestly, for 243 pieces at $25, this isn't bad. The build looks kind of bad though. And then we have the Rattlecopter, back to very good looking builds. We have a $30 327 piece set with Kai, Lloyd, as well as Feng Shui, I believe. Barging right in, we have this other Cole set, which continues the trend of Cole sets being super expensive with 286 pieces for $40. 2 minifigs, yeah, it's cool, but very, very expensive for the price tag being given. Jumping snakes, we have a new Walmart pulley bag over here for the March of 2012. This is a fun little J pulley bag, great way to get J. Then we have a little Zane pulley bag, another $3.47 set. We have it coming in Feb and March, as well as a newspaper in May. And then lastly, we have the Faded Cole's car, and this set is just, so bad compared to what we got with Lychee Wings remake. It is a really cool thing though that we got a remake of this, but yeah, man, Lego sets just weren't that great in the day in terms of build. And actually, we do happen to have one more pulley bag that isn't a conventional pulley bag, was given in some magazine Ratla. And then to end the year off, we have two 3-in-1 sets, which sadly we don't get anymore, but this has Cole's Tread Assault set, as well as a Zane and a Kai bike set. And then this other one also has a Kai bike set, as well as the Energy Kai spinner, which is awesome. And then Jay's kind of weird looking jet. Honestly, yeah, they really should have made that J jet a lot better for the price. And then, yeah, we have this little shrine set. I don't know where this came in, but it's worth a good amount. It's $60 today. Retailing for $15, I believe, for 1888 pieces back in the day. This set is called Spinner Ring and only has one piece. Literally might be the smallest Ninjago set ever. Oh, wait, so I stand corrected. There is this set that has no pieces, which is a special edition card. I don't even know if this is a set anymore because it doesn't look like one, but it's apparently listed as set. And then we also have the Kendo J Booster Pack, a 31-piece set, one minifigure. I don't know what the price on this was. There is no information on it, sadly, but I mean, I guess it was a cool way to get a Kendo J minifigure. And then lastly, we have our promotional pulley bag, probably given away as a make and take or something, but I have no information on it. Still really cool, 11 pieces, nice and small, yeah. Little disclaimer before we move on with the 2013 and 2014 waves. These waves are actually really small because LEGO was planning to end the theme at 2013, but saw a resurgence in fans and just saw how much hype was over it. So they brought the theme back in 2014, but they were small because it was really quick. Starting off 2013, we have the Kai's Fire Mech set, and wow, this was $10 with 102 pieces, which is just ridiculous value. This is not something you would see in stores today. The current Kai Fire Mech we have is so much smaller and so much worse than this at the same price tag, and of course inflation and all that also has 3 figs, but yeah, just generally seeing this kind of value and seeing how good the set is kind of wild. Damn, it really is something. This next set is the Warrior Bike with $20 on it for 210 pieces and 2 minifigures. Pretty solid if you ask me. Now this set, the Earth Thriller, is actually really nostalgic to me because this was actually my first LEGO Ninjago set ever. It retailed for $20 back in the day and had 171 pieces. It definitely is not as good as the Legacy Earth Thriller, but you know what, for its time and everything else that's there, this is solid. Yeah, LEGO really isn't trying to make any expensive sets because this is the Golden Dragon that they sold for $30 with the Golden Ninja, which is just crazy cheap in comparison to today's standards, 252 pieces, and then we also have 3 minifigures, which is just perfectly solid. What a great little LEGO build. Next up, we have the Garmadon LEGO set. This set retails for $40, has Kozu, 328 pieces on it, but man, only one ninja for a set this size. A little bit disappointing, so we can kind of see the value isn't there for this set necessarily, but it's still a really nice set, and the Garmadon was such a big part of the show. At $70 for 565 pieces, we have the Temple of Light, and this thing is so cool. Again, we have the Golden Ninja along with the Garmadon minifigure. Now, $70 for a set with this build is honestly really not that great. I think it's just nostalgia kicking in here because a lot of this build is a base plate with a really just bad build overall compared to what we'd get today. But yeah, I mean, you know what? Still really cool to see. We have the Wu minifigure here and we have 2 scouts, so that's nice. And yeah, that was it for the final battle sets because this last set is actually just a Brickmaster Ninjago parts pack. I don't know why this exists. It was in a book, I believe, but I'm not entirely sure. No price tag associated with it from what I know. And then we also had this other Brickmaster set. It came in this little bag. It, I believe, is part of a book series. And then finally, to top it all off, we have a little Ninjago battle pack with a couple Stone Warriors, a Stone Scout specifically, as well as a Jay and a Zane minifigure for pretty cheap. I believe it retailed for $15 back in the day, so that actually wasn't terrible, and it's worth roughly $46 now with 36 pieces. So here we have the 2014 wave, and this is the wave that Ninjago rebooted with, and because it was rebooted at this point and it was done kind of at the last minute, these sets were only roughly the same amount as the 2013 one, so only around 10. The first set that we have here is the Kai X1 Charger. Apparently we're getting a legacy version of this set later this year, and man, it is a really cool set. I used to love this thing as a kid because of the little bike feature. Now this set was a little expensive. It was $40, but it did have 426 pieces. I'm guessing it was pretty well sized. Just give it everything you're getting, plus a lot of little villain vehicles and villain drones that really add to the fun that you were getting in a set like this. Next set we have here is the Battle for Ninjago City with 1,223 pieces, retailing for $120. And man, I remember seeing this set on store shelves when I was a kid. It really is something. Now you can see the build is a bit rushed. You can see there's a little tree that's so generic for the side build, but otherwise there's just so many cool things about it. I love the shield armor suits. I love everything that's going on here. I would totally love to get this at some point, but given the fact that it's valued new at $400 and valued used at like 300, yeah, I don't think it's going to be very cheap or realistic to do. This is the Hover Hunter, which was a nice little $10 back when it came out. A great way to get the Cole minifigure, which is a really interesting looking minifigure, and a great way to get that Techno Blade. It's a really nice little Hover Hunter build here. It was actually $12 instead of 10, and it looks like a $10 set, but yeah, no, it was actually 12 for roughly 80 pieces. For this next set here, we have the Kai Fighter set. This set retailed for roughly $20 with 196 pieces. This was actually my second Ninjago set ever. Really nice way to get Cryptor and the Kai minifigure. And this was my third Ninjago set ever, the Overborg Attack. Also another $20. A great way to get the Lloyd minifigure. Really nice minifigure, by the way. This was honestly just a really basic set. This Borg goes really nicely with the Ninjago City Markets Borg. For the next set here, we have the Thunder Raider, and this set had Jay and Cole. 334 pieces for $30, so pretty expensive, but it was a really good looking set. I really hate the fact that I missed out on the Legacy one because it was amazing. Next up, we have a set at double the price, $60, the Ninja Copter. Pretty expensive set. It is a really big build though. It looks giant, and it also has Zane and exclusive Pixal minifigure and the Falcon. And then lastly, or not lastly actually, we have a couple more to go, but we have the Ninjoid Mech Dragon at $90 for 691 pieces. Definitely pricey, but definitely also really big. You get the Garmadon, Evil Woot, and Lloyd minifigure, which is just super awesome for the set. And then we also have the Destructoid. Really good set. It's a really nice looking set for $35, but it does only have 253 pieces, which does make it really expensive. But you do get Zane here, and I believe this is one of the only ones to get this variant of Zane. And then lastly, you have a Ninjago Battle Pack set, and this set is 10 pieces for $5, but it came with a fully new exclusive printed version of Dareth, which is just an amazing thing to get at this price tag, plus a trophy and an Android, literally perfect.
If you like to do stop motion animation or like to voice act, we have the perfect Discord server for you. Not only does everyone give each other a bunch of animation tips and Mechabricks tips, we also post these cool collabs that you might have seen. So make sure to hit that link in the description to join our community.
Moving on to our next year, we have the 2015 Ninjago set year. For our first set, we have the Anaconda Battle Mech. What a lovely little poly bag coming with 43 pieces and one minifigure. I think this is really solid, and to complement it, you can also get the Jay's Nanomech set, which is a really nice mini version of his mech. 54 pieces, one minifig, $5, just awesome. This is the first time I've ever seen 3 poly bags for a wave, let alone 3 poly bags in an ear. This is the Kai Drifter poly bag. This is a little Kai Drifter with an easy way to get tournament Kai, which is really nice. There's a really funny fun fact about the set, that this set actually came free with a Donald Duck magazine in March of 2015. I have no clue how that collaboration happened, but I guess it happened. Next up, we have this 70745 Anaconda Crusher set, and this set is absolutely awesome with 2 minifigures, including Sukin Kai, as well as this really nice looking Anaconda Crusher. Now, the one thing about this Crusher is it actually uses these little wheels and these little weapons to spin the weapons, just like the new J set uses, and just like the Overborg Attack used from the set that we just looked at. Next up, we have the Condry Copter Attack. This set retailed for $30 and has Chen and Skylor, which is just amazing. Such a great looking Lego set, and it's a nice copter, which is something that we don't usually see from Ninjago. It's Boulder Blasting time, because we have the original Boulder Blaster over here,
looks like a really good Lego set. 236 pieces for $30 is a little steep, but it's actually not terrible. It looks like a good size
This
build.
is the Titanium Dragon. It comes with Titanium Zane. Man, this figure looks amazing. And then you have Klaus over here too. Looking at the build overall, the Titanium Dragon just doesn't look like something as cool as what we'd see today, but still really cool. I mean, nice build. Enter the Serpent. This set retailed for $60 back in the day, which is a little pricey for only 2 Ninja and Master Chen, but honestly not terrible. It's a really nice looking temple for what you're getting. It's funny this set is called Enter the Serpent because I don't see any big serpents here, but still really cool. Oh my god, we just reached the holy grail of Ninjago Peak. This was $80 for 756 pieces, but it was really big. It was the Ninja DBX. The Temple Bounty, that's alright, but this, the Ninja DBX, just amazing build. The minifigure selection is not the best. You get Zukin Kai, Samurai X, Pythor's nice, and then you also get an exclusive Garmadon minifigure. Man, I wish I wasn't too young to get this. This was like 10 years ago, but yeah, no, it's awesome. And if you were wondering why it's called DBX, the DB stands for Destiny's Bounty. Continuing these January 1st sets, we have the Jungle Trap with the Tournament Kai minifigure and Chope, I believe, for roughly $7, which is solid. And then we have this really fun Tournament Lava build that was $8 with a Tournament Cole minifigure and another member of Chen's Goon Squad. For the next set we have here, we have the Jace Electromech set. This set retails at $15, 3 times the price of the mini one, and comes with a really sizable build alongside a little shooter for the villain to attack Jay with. Next up, we have the Jungle Raider for $20 with the Lloyd minifigure. Really nice. Next up, we have the Dojo Showdown set, which is one of the most wanted sets ever just because of how cool it is and the minifigures in it with Griffin Turner, Karlof, and Tournament Kai. Next up, starting off our June wave, we have the Cowler Dragon Pulley Bag, which retailed for $5 and also was a free GWP with Toys R Us for around $80. Holy cow, this is the Chain Cycle Ambush set. 298 pieces, 3 minifigures. Man, that bike looks awesome. I mean, all the little effect pieces coming off of it and like the general giant build of it is just so good. Very funny inclusion of Airjitsu Zane here. I don't know why they included him, but it's really cool to get him. And that build for the Arrowblade cage looks so nice. I mean, man, I really want to get these. I feel like season 5 was such a vibe. It just, man, the sets, wow. Next up, we got the Jaywalker 1, which was the first J car and definitely not going to be the last. This set comes with 3 ghost villains, which is kind of crazy. And you can also see it uses that shooter mechanism where you can shoot the discs, which is a lot of fun. The build for the Jaywalker 1 is super unique, and the cannon feature to shoot out, I believe, nets is just really fun to have in a Lego set like this. This set retailed for $40 and the next set retails for $100. And damn, this set is really something else because it is just such an awesome build. I mean, imagine being a kid and just playing with your minifigures, like fighting up like this giant temple with a cannon at the top. And that's not even it. There's like this side build over here. We have little ghost boat, and then we also have a Nia boat and great minifigures, including Morro possessing Lloyd. Wow. You can probably tell at this point I'm a bit high on nostalgia, but honestly, these sets were really just something else. Next up, we have the Cole's Blaster Bike set. This retailed for $20 and came with Cole as well as a giant bike and a Cowler Dragon. Master Wu's Dragon. This set is filled with a ton of side builds, which I hate, but I mean, a Master Wu Dragon in and of itself is just such a peak idea. I mean, for $40 getting 575 pieces, this set is amazing. Ronin REX, a set retailed for $50 for 547 pieces. A really fun way to get Ronin as well as Kai in the Airjitsu spinner. Oh my god, this is the Morro Dragon. The set retailed for $70 back in the day, had just Kai and Jay, which is a little disappointing, but the dragon is not disappointing. The build, oh man. And you get Lloyd possessed. Wow. Damn. $60 for 754 pieces and 2 awesome looking mechs is amazing. I mean, you also get Samurai X here and Jay along with Zane, so beautiful job, Lego. Wow. This Destiny's Bounty set, the final flight of the Destiny's Bounty, is just an awesome set for play. It has a really nice dragon in it too. Wow. Actually, I really like this one too. I think it's like perfect for children, especially. This set retailed for $120 though, which is a little pricey, I think, for a lot of people, and had 1253 pieces, but you know, I guess it could be much worse. Here we have the Airjitsu J Flyer, and then we also have the Airjitsu Zane Flyer, which I have a bit of a story for. This was actually when I was getting into Ninjago, and I bought this in 2017, like 2 years after I retired. It was the only way to get a good Zane minifigure on the market, so I ended up spending like $20 to get this minifigure and this full set, but man, the Airjitsu sets were just so awesome back in the day.
dirt cheap Airjitsu Morro, and then we also have a Wraith minifigure, which is just awesome. And then in July, like a month after everything else released, we got a Kai Airjitsu as well as a Cole Airjitsu. And then lastly, in September, we got the first Ninjago D2C. The minifigures in this thing were insane. I mean, you got Misako, you got Fu, you got the Postman with the hair piece, which I really need for my old tan Postman. But yeah, no, this had every single ninja in it. It was a really good build overall. I mean, a lot of it reminds me of Temple City, but it is a little better in some senses. Now, 2,000 pieces for $200 in this market is kind of steep, but like, I mean, back in the day, $200 was worth a lot more. So honestly, not terrible. I guess this counts as a set. It was like one of those like book builder adventure things, and I think it was like Lloyd and Throne armor and a mech. We have a little blister pack, $15, which is actually kind of solid. You get both Kai and Jay as well as 2 Ghost Army members, so that's a lot of fun. Moving on to the little magazine packs, we have Kai over here, and by the looks of it, Kai doesn't even have his face expression, so I do not know what they were cooking with this one. We have our guy Crate here, pretty good actually, and then we also have Cole here, another just inaccurate looking minifigure. We have a little build, yeah, and then we also have Jay, yeah, and then we also have the Ming minifigure, and then we also have Stone Armor Zane, which it doesn't come with his hairpiece, but it comes with the torso, which is the most important part, and that is just really, really cool. This is an Anaconda hideout foil pack, and then we also have a scenery and a dagger trap thingy, and then we also have a ninja accessory pack. I don't even know what these are, but they released in 2015, and I guess they are sets. This set didn't have a retail price to it, but apparently it was part of a Toys R Us promotion in September of 2015, so cool, I guess. And then Toys R Us had a May 2015 building promotion thing where they had a shrine. They also had a micro electromech bot. They had a micro Kai's fighter jet, and then they also had a micro Morro dragon. And these were just like little make and take builds that they put out in May of 2015. Now, this technically isn't a Ninjago set in the sense it wasn't part of the Ninjago theme. It was actually part of the Dimensions game, which released around this time. And this retailed for roughly $25 in November of 2015. We had the J Fun Pack over here for $15, which I think is pretty steep. And then we also have the Nia Fun Pack over here for another $15, which has a bigger mech at least, but man, 15, really? Zane Fun Pack. I mean, you could have just spent $10 more and got the big dragon, but you know, $15, I guess, for the Zane Fun Pack. So I just found this picture online from Jang Bricks of all the possession sets all together, and man, this is definitely the one wave that I just want to go back and collect as a full wave whenever I get the chance to sometime in my life, because this just looks awesome. This is just so cool to see. All the villain vehicles and all the ninja vehicles just so it looks so awesome all together, and I think, yeah, this is that one wave, with the sole exception of maybe the Day of the Departed wave, because that is really good, and we'll be seeing that in a second. Moving on to 2016, aka the 5th anniversary of LEGO Ninjago. Definitely an old-timer year because some of these sets here are absolutely amazing. Starting off with our first little LEGO Poly Bag, the Skybound plane. This retailed for roughly $5 and was mostly in just supermarkets worldwide. For the next build here, we have for $5 also the Kai's Mini Dragon Poly Bag. I actually remember trying to recreate this as a kid with my own LEGO pieces. It is a fun little fire dragon build after all. Next up, we have the Ninja Bike Chase set, which retailed for roughly $20 back in the day, actually, and it came with the Nia minifigure as well as the Kai minifigure, which honestly is really good price for that. Next up, we have the Sky Shark set, which also retailed for $20, had Flintlock and Lloyd, and it also had Kai trapped in the Jin Blade. For some reason, I thought this was the Hydro Electric Dragon, but apparently this was always just Jay's Elemental Dragon. It comes with Monkey Wrench and Siren and Jay, and also comes with Nia trapped in the little blade. But anyway, retailing for $30, this is a pretty peak little build. Man, they really are continuing the villain vehicles here with the Ray Zeppelin coming with Doubloon and Clancy. Amazing figures for $30, very solid. Here we have the Tiger Widow Island set. This retailed for $50 with 450 pieces, and I guess that makes a little bit more sense with the cost of the Dog Shank minifigure, but otherwise, pretty mid build compared to what we do get today, but still a fun little set. Next up, we have the Misfortune's Keep, which was only $80, came with Nauticon, and pretty much most of the crew alongside Lloyd, Jay, and Kai, which is just so awesome. Man, that Nauticon looks so peak. Concluding Jan and starting March, we have the Cole's Little Dragon set. This was a $10 set back in the day. It came with Cole as well as Zane's Little Ice Jin Blade. Unlike the previous set, Cole isn't a ghost here, which is interesting to say the least. Keeping it strong and starting our June wave, we have the $5 Anchor Jet set, and then we also have the Woo Crew Training Dojo Pulley Bag, which I don't know why they put in Tournament J and Possession Woo. I guess it's still really cool to get though. This is the Rock Rider, and this set was actually very, very nostalgic to me. I actually got 2 of them, like, as birthday presents from friends, and one of them mysteriously disappeared, so I guess my mom just, like, returned it or gave it away or something, but other than that, this was a really cool set to build with what I was able to get. Plus, it comes with the Skull minifigure, which is, man, Lego, you just need to make one for, like, today. We haven't gotten one for the past 10 years now. Oh my god, bro, I can't believe this. This is also super nostalgic. This is the Air Jitsu Battlegrounds. This retailed for $60 back in the day, and essentially, it was like the other Air Jitsu sets, but this time it was like an actual battleground where you could battle Air Jitsu Nia and Air Jitsu Lloyd's 2 minifigures that are very expensive today, mainly because this set was really hard to get your hands on. It wasn't like widely available, or at least I believe as widely available as the other ones because of the Air Jitsu gimmick, but still really cool set, and it had Yang and like his students too, which is just awesome. Man, these sets keep getting better, but we have the Cryptarian Prison Breakout, such a fun little build. I actually want to do a bigger version of this for my anniversary series at one point because it just is a really cool looking build. You got so many cool minifigures in the set, and then we also have it just for $20. Like, man, that is a great price. Here we have the Salvage Mech. What a fun little Lego set. One of my friends actually got his hands on this. It was $40, which is a little expensive. Came with 439 pieces, which isn't bad. Came with 2 mechs, and you had Rodin, but Nia without a mask, sadly. Still really cool overall. Lloyd's NRG Green Dragon. I can't say I cared a lot for this one, but it was still a really cool looking set, especially for $50. Getting a dragon of this size is just not something we get today. Instead, we get stuff like Ron2 with a broken jaw. For the next set that we have here, this is the Lighthouse Siege, and man, I can't believe this was only $70 back in the day with 767 pieces. Some awesome figures, including Nauticon, Nia, and Jay. This is just an amazing looking build. Really good one for sure. And what I love the most is that set is a staple in the show. It just didn't like disappear after that one season. I just realized that currently we have the Dr. Julian minifigure in the Old Town set. So that would just be so cool getting that set and putting him in it. But that's just never gonna happen with how much the Lighthouse probably costs now. Okay, this is probably my most wanted Ninjago set ever. This just like, I mean, as a kid, I really wanted this set. It was $100 back in the day, which was a little expensive for me at that time. I mean, it was 10 years ago, didn't have a lot of money, but the figures you get in this set are just awesome. Plus Chen, and you also get Master Yang. Like, man, I really want to get this thing. One day I will get this set. It's just amazing. The 2024 combo vehicle was just pretty buns, and then the 2025 vehicle looked really nice. It's just the price tag was ridiculous for something that small. This is also another set that I really wanted, not as much as the Ultra Celebrator, but still a lot. I really wish Lego would go back and like make the Samurai X caves again, because this just looks awesome. It's just such a cool concept that I'm surprised we haven't seen born again in the Ninjago franchise. The minifigures are really crazy. Not $120 great, but still really, really crazy figs. And for those wondering, it was $120 for 1253 pieces, which is pretty solid, I guess. Oh, we have the Titanium Tumbler, another set that I want to get. I know every set I'm saying is something I want to get, but that's just mostly nostalgia. Anyway, this set retailed for $30, had Zane in it, which was a really hard to get minifigure at that time, especially that hairpiece, so really cool. Next up, we have the Rock Rotor, the Extra Awesome Edition. I don't even know what this is. I'm pretty sure it contains like a Nexo poster or something on it. And Seo does this one for the Salvage Mech. It contains some Nexo stuff. I believe it was made for like Toys R Us or something, but I'm not going to count these as extra sets because they really aren't. They're just more like other editions, but more like in a promotional aspect, I should say. Next up, we have this awesome blister pack, the Ninjago accessory set. Really cool way to get a Tournament Zane minifigure as well as Samurai X, plus 2 Sky Pirate villains for $15. I kind of wish I bought this, but I mean, I guess I just wasn't rich enough at the time. For the minifigure packs, I'm going to speed through this, but we have Sukinkai with his hairpiece, no mask. We have Klaus, which is amazing, and he comes with the teapot of Tryon, which is such a cool Easter egg from the Lego magazine, guys. Just a great fig overall. We got Zukin Cole, man. Again, no mask, which sucks. Then we also have Squiffy over here with, I don't even know. And then we also have this limited edition little pulley bag with the dragon. And then we have Siren over here. Then again, Jay with a hairpiece and no mask. And then we have Bucko. Yeah, just another rando. And then we have Zane, who actually comes with a mask, and this is just a really fun titanium figure to get. This figure is awesome, definitely second in class, but I think it's really cool to be getting a Ronin figure in a cheap magazine, and also with 2 arrow blades, since those were the collectibles of last wave. Next up, we have a Pirates Fighter foil pack, and then we also have a Samurai X DM minifigure, and then we have a Sky Pirates Battle Pulley bag, which was $5, came with Siren, and this little bot. This was a GWP at Toys R Us, which LEGO seemed to love doing, and man, this is such a cool way to get the Cole minifigure in his stone armor. I really wish I could get this, but it is very expensive now at $81 new. And to close it off, we have 2 $15 little LEGO Dimension sets. One came in Jan and one came in May. And then we have this little $15 junior set. And then we have a $30 junior set. So yeah. Moving on to our next year over here, we have the 2017 year for LEGO Ninjago. This year is a bit weird because they had the Ninjago movie to worry about too, alongside the normal TV show. The first set that we have here is the Wu Cruise Master Training Ground set. This retailed for $5 back in the day and is currently like $10 now. It's not that much, but it came with the Zane minifigure with that silver hairpiece plus a Nia hairpiece. So it's a really good build, honestly, with 43 pieces. The next set that we have here is the Stealthy Swamp Airboat. I believe this was on retail for $5, but it was also free with the Donald Duck and Co comic in September of 2017. I actually got this one. This one was the Vermilion Attack set. This one had Vermin and Ragmonk and Kai and had a really fun egg launching build. So overall, really nice for $10. I also had this one, the Desert Lightning. I actually really like the set because you get 2 bikes and you also get the Slow-Mo Blade plus Blunk, which is just amazing value for what you would get. One of my friends had the Destiny's Shadow, and here I believe you get Vermin, Lloyd, as well as Cole, who looks awesome with his RX scar. This set retailed for roughly $30 and had 360 pieces, and the Destiny's Shadow build doesn't look too shabby, so overall pretty solid set. This set is the Vermilion Invader. It's a really fun way to get the Zane minifigure, and overall really fun little set. It was $30 for 313 pieces, which is solid, but it came with the Forward Blade, which is something that not a lot of people wanted. Next up, we have the Samurai P.I.X.A.L. It is a really big set. It has 428 pieces for $50, comes with Nia as well as the Samurai X plus Makia, which is just such an awesome combo of minifigures. And the build of the car actually looks really solid, like just like a big fat build that feels worth the $50. It's kind of crazy that in comparison, the set is $55 today. This next set I actually own. Yes, I do own the Dawn of the Iron Doom set. I got it for Crux and Acronics because there was no other way to get him. Plus, you get Lloyd and Jay. And honestly, as a kid, when I was playing with this, the funnest part here was the side build. And I know that sounds really stupid, but I just loved having my figures like crawl to the top and fight for the time blades. But don't get me wrong, the Iron Doom is a really good set. It's a really nice mech. It was actually my first mech ever, so it was super cool to get. And overall, it's such a beautiful set with $60 for 700 pieces, which is just such a steal. It is currently worth $438 new today and $223 used, so it is still really expensive. The next set that we have here is the Dragon Forge. This is another set that one of my friends got, and this was a really cool set to mess around with. It was $80, but had 1,137 pieces, so quite ridiculous value, plus you get the dragon and a really nice shrine build plus buff million. So overall really cool. Plus Ray and Maya. Yeah, this set was something else back in the day. I do have to say I do prefer this set a lot more than the one that we just looked at because it is so much bigger in just like its size and heaviness, and it has so many more cooler Easter eggs and details in it that I just really like this one a lot more. And I actually honestly think the minifigures are better, like value wise. Next up, we have a Blister Pack accessory set. This comes with Skylor, Ash, and Shade, which I mean, I really wish I got this back in the day, but then again, I was young and I had no money. But this set is so cool because you get 3 Elemental Masters, 2 of which haven't appeared in the set before, and they come with their hair pieces too. Like, it's just so cool, man. I really wish I got this. This set is valued at $73 new today and $69 used, so it is still really expensive to get your hands on these figures. And what the hell, Shade's got dual molds? Like, this literally might be the first and last dual molded Ninjago minifigure ever. Here we have the J foil pack, and it came with the Day of the Departed J minifigure plus his mask and all. Like, that is pretty cool. Yeah, they really be putting everything in these because this is another exclusive minifigure. No way, bro. Damn, okay. I don't even know why I'm surprised. They literally just put in Frak, and then they're also just put in Rocks, which is the last Forbidden 5 member that they need to put in magazines. Like, damn. Next up, we have my goat Zane. Damn, in his DOTD form. And then you also get Lloyd in DOTD. Damn, so you get everyone but Nia, which is kind of crazy. I don't know why he's called Vermilion because I'm pretty sure he is Vermin. And they have Cole. I really wish these retailed in the US because I would have been a much happier child as a kid. Like, please, LEGO. Here we have a Stone Swordsman, member of the Goon Squad. And then we also have Kai over here. Awesome. With the fire eyes. This was exclusive to that one set that we just looked at. All you Europe folks, man, you guys are so lucky. What? Ninjoid Guy, our next member of the Goon Squad. And then we have Hands of Time Zane. Oh my god, I wanted this figure. Chen. Yeah, that's actually pretty peak. These magazines are coming with crazy value. Like, magazines are actually awesome. Bricktober packs. I think everyone knows these are infamously expensive. This is like $20 back in the day. It is currently worth $260 new, which is like kind of ridiculous. That is like, man, you're only getting a few pieces in here and that retailed for $20 and then now you're extending the price hella. But still good figs. Like, you get Neuro and stuff like that. That's still fun. This is our last quote-unquote Ninjago set for the year. This was the Red Temple, and it was in a Toys R Us, like a make and take in like September of 2017. So moving on to the Ninjago movie, essentially we didn't get anything in June. We're actually getting all these sets that we're going to see here in August. This first one was the Cole Micro Quake Mech. I actually got this at Legoland, but otherwise these are really hard to find usually. Yeah, Ninjago got a crazy amount of holy bags back in the day. This is number 4 for this year. This is Ice Tank, and then number 5, wow, the Green Ninja Mech Dragon. Next up, we have the Spinjitzu training set. This comes with Kai and Zane, another set I had. Man, I remember looking at this on store shelves and telling my mom I just want to look at it and I'm not going to want to buy it. By the next trip, I want to get in. I ended up getting it, but man, this was so much fun back in the day. 2 Ninja for $10. What a steal. Hey, I got this one too for like Black Friday, Ninjago City Chase. $20 for 5 minifigures. This was such a good deal. Now, you only got 2 Ninja and both of them were in their casual outfits, but I mean, these parts are really great, especially for like city building and stuff. Next up, we have the Masterfall set. One of my friends actually had this for $30, 312 pieces, getting Garmadon, Wu, and Kai in a set. Pretty awesome. This one felt like the flagship set of the wave. It was like that one set that I kept seeing everywhere. It was just like everywhere. We have our Manta Ray Bomber with 341 pieces with $30. This one came with Cole. And continuing our good squad here, we have the Flying Jelly Sub, also $30, 341 pieces. And this one specialized in coming with Jay. Water Shredder. This was only $30. For some reason, I thought it was $40, but 30 is amazing. 494 pieces. That is ridiculous. Yeah, you get Nia, Kai, and 2 goons, and wow. Damn, this was such a goated set for 30. Man, I should have bought this. Next up, we have the $50 Green Ninja Mech Dragon. This is another set one of my friends had. Really, really cool set. It came with Lloyd and Garmadon, and then he also had the Garma Mecha Man set, which was the $60 set with Garmadon and Lloyd again. We got the Lightning Jack Mech, which was $60, 876 pieces though, so really solid there. Then we have the Fire Mech, which was $70 for 944 pieces. And then we have the Ice Tank, which was $80 for 914 pieces. Wow. I guess maybe since it was such a big wave, they want to bring down prices so more people would be interested in buying like the big mechs. Because there's already a ton of expensive things like the $100 Temple of the Ultimate Weapon. This was absolute peak. I remember seeing this on store shelves in my local Target all the way back in 2017. The coolest part is it comes with all the Ninja's hair pieces, which is like what I wanted the most. Hands down, the literal best bounty ever. This set is called just the Destiny's Bounty, but I really think it literally is the best. I don't like the Temple Bounty that much. It is really cool, but not as good. This one was $160 back in the day and had 2,300 pieces, and that sounds like a really good deal, but with inflation and all, it's about the same price tag as the Temple Bounty. A lot of people think that the old sets are like really well priced, but they often forget inflation, and that's why sets from 10 years ago would cost more now. Next up, we have a Lloyd polybag. This was pretty expensive at $5, but you got a dual molded little hairpiece for him, and then you also got a new print for his torso, so I guess that makes it kind of worth it. Here we have the Ninjago City set, and this was the biggest Ninjago set for its time. It retailed for $300 and came out in September of 2017. This had 4,867 pieces, which is pretty good, and it's worth $754 new today, or $550 used. So it is really, really expensive. But man, it was something back in the day. I remember like going to Legoland and seeing this on display. It was massive. I mean, then again, sets now are also massive. It's just, as a kid, I did not know this released before the other spinners, but this was the Lloyd Spinjitzu Master Spinner. This retailed for $10 back in the day and released on December 1st, which is awesome, like Lego. Please give us more December 1st releases, or just anything between the summer and January wave, because there's a good 7 months of absolutely nothing. Continuing that, we have the Piranha Attack, which is a great way to get Coco, and then we also have the Garmadon's Volcano Layer. This set is totally awesome, but only Zane for $50, 521 pieces. It's alright. Here we have the Quake mech, honestly the best mech of them all. I remember wondering where this set was because it didn't drop with the other one, so I'm so happy we finally got it. It is so cool, bro. One thing I love about the Ninjago movie is that all the sets were so unique, which is something that we sort of struggle to see in Ninjago today outside of like Lychee Wing sets. This set was literally called Garmadon, retailed for $80 on December 1st, 830 pieces, Lloyd, Garmadon. Really cool set though. Here we had the Kendo Lloyd minifigure. This one retailed in a $5 poly bag. And then we also had the foil pack Junior's Lloyd, the one with like the little white kimono. Next up, we have the $20 movie maker set. I really wanted this thing, but like you literally couldn't find it anywhere. It was really, really cool though. Like $20 you get Kai plus a phone stand plus a little setup. I wish LEGO would make stop motion sets like this like today. It would be just so awesome. Like this is the one thing I'd submit to LEGO ideas, a stop motion set. Next up, we have the movie maker poly bag. I don't remember if this was $5 or $10. I believe it was 10, but don't quote me on that. It was a really nice way to get Jay with his hairpiece, so I wish I could get this one, but again, it was super limited and hard to get, and I guess this makes it the 6th poly bag of this year. Here we have the Kendo Pods. Kai's Kendo Pod was really cool, outside of the fact that his face print looks a little wonky. Okay, this is really random, but it was like some kind of Toys R Us special. It was like a United States competition where you could spend $30 to enter like a raffle, and then you may or may not get the set. Anyway, this set has nothing special in it, so I don't see why anyone would really want it, but yeah. We have the Green Dragon over here, which was a Barnes & Noble promotion. It looked like this, just like a small little dragon. That was Make It Taken. We had a fidget spinner here with, I believe, 5 prints for each one of the ninja faces and Wu and Garmadon with 23 pieces. This was free with any $50 purchases at LEGO Discovery Centers. Next up, we have the $10 brickhead sets. This was Lloyd's. And then we have the Master Wu over here. And then for our junior sets, we have the $20 junior set over here. And then we also have the last thing here. It's the Ninjago movie CMF, which was our only Ninjago CMF ever, which sucks because I really want to get one for the show. And all the minifigures in this one were all like buns. Like, I couldn't care for like half of these. Welcome to 2018, the year of the redesigns. It was a very controversial decision, but honestly, I like them better. First things first, we have another training poly bag set. We've been getting one of these every year at this point. No clue what went wrong with the Lloyd hair there, but he has a new head, and overall, this set retailed for $5 and had too many figures, which is pretty solid in my opinion. Next up, we have a biker poly bag, which was literally called the Sons of Garmadon. This retailed for $5 back in the day, had 33 pieces, and while a SOG character like one of the thugs isn't like the most popular choice, I'm sure, still a really cool build for the bike and still a really good idea overall. I actually bought this one back in the day for $5. This was called Turbo. It was like, I believe, a micro version of the Ninja Nightcrawlers, but yeah, it was $5. One minifigure, a Lloyd minifigure. Next up, we have the Spinjitzu for Kai. These retailed for $10 back in the day and aren't worth too much new today. They are roughly $23 new and $7 used across the board. I didn't know this came with 2 swords of fire. That's actually pretty cool. Nia's is generally a pretty generic, not much going on here. For Jay, you have this really cool shrine for his nunchucks. For Zane, you have 2 arrow blades, which are really cool for shurikens. And then we also have Cole with a pretty blocky, rocky base. And no Lloyd spinner because he came a month earlier in 2017, but he is still in this wave. This here is the Katana V11. It retailed for $20 back in the day and came with Kai and a biker. I believe this is the first ninja boat that we've ever gotten so far, followed by our second boat. This was the junior set that released back then. This came with Zane and a nice villain. Really nice, I guess, for kids. This also retailed for $20 back in the day. Speaking of Zane, we have another Zane set. This is the Street Race of the Snake Jaguar. Retailed for $30 back in the day. Came with 2 nice looking bikes plus the Oni Mask of Vengeance. This is when I started getting Ninjago stuff seriously, so I bought this set. And technically, this set has the second Zane Falcon to ever appear, followed by the Old Town. So this set is where the other Lloyd Center is, and this is the SOG headquarters. It retailed for $40 back in the day, and this had 530 pieces. It was a really nice Spinjitzu tournament area. Great value, great build. It came with the exclusive Snake Jaguar, which is really cool. That was the easiest way to get Zane's hairpiece back in the day. I actually really like this style of playset. It's a great way to like interact with your spinners and stuff, but at the same time, it acts like a full base. Like it looks like an actual villain base. Like this is perfect for kids. Ultraviolet and Lloyd are still going head to head in this next set, this being the Ninja Nightcrawler. I got this set and I absolutely loved it. $40 for 552 pieces, and the build was magnificent. I'll tell you, there was a little button in the back and you can press it and guns would come out. And when you rolled the card, the guns would shoot too. And like as a kid, that was like technological genius to me. Genuinely, I say this build might go down as one of the best Ninjago sets of all time. This is the last Ninjago set I believe I got from 2018. This was Kilo versus Samurai X. It had a really nice mech for Samurai X and a big mech for Kilo. Now this set retails for a lot because Kilo went sky high in value, and so did all the minifigures in this set. This set is currently now worth 237 new for a set that had 556 pieces back in the day for $50. Like that's pretty crazy. Here we have the Temple of Resurrection. This set retailed for $70 back in the day and was the only way to get coal, which really sucked, along with Hutchins and Princess Harumi. This set is also roughly worth about $223 today, and it retailed again for $70 and had 765 pieces. Pretty good build overall. Really had a nice function with like the face that the roof could turn into. Next up, we have the Dragon Hunter polybag set. This set retailed for $5 back in the day and has a really nice little Zane dragon build. It's a really fun way to also build up your Dragon Hunter army. Following that, we have another set of spinners. We got like 10, 11 spinners this year. These were Erjitsus, I believe, but these retailed for a little bit more. They were $15. This one was Woo's. They all feature this like really interesting hill with like an Erjitsu on top. So it's really just an Erjitsu set with a bent hilt. And they also have some really cool suits, I think, that aren't technically canon to the show, sadly. Next up, we have the Destiny's Wing. No, this is not a Destiny's Bounty. It was just called the Destiny's Wing. This and that were both $20. This is the Throne Room Showdown, and this set was so cool back in the day. You got 5 minifigures, including Harumi, the new Lloyd, Nia, and then you got Skylor and Pixal. It was such a steal back in the day. I have a really random anecdote for this set. I actually remember seeing it early on eBay, and they were selling them like a month early for $100 each, which was crazy back in the day. And the next set we have here is the Firstborn set. This set retailed for $70. It was a great way to get both Kai and Cole and a little helicopter, which is like the first time since like season 1 that a helicopter has appeared. It's a pretty cool looking set. Around 882 pieces, a really good looking dragon. This set was really something back in the day. The Diesel Knot, this thing was big back in the day, man. It was $110 for about 1100 pieces, which is solid. It was a great way to get Jay and Zane, so to complete your like ninja cast with this set and the last one, but it was one big set. I heard the treads, however, didn't really work too well with like any other surface that wasn't like carpet. As a kid, this was unaffordable, but I really wanted this set. This was the Dragon Pit. It retailed for $130, 1,660 pieces. Like, the value on this is crazy. Plus, you get all 4 of the ninja, including Wu in his golden dragon form, plus Iron Baron, plus heavy metal. Like, this is literally peak in all ways. Not to mention, they had really cool mechanisms to open the door and stuff. Here we have the terrifying Oni Titan. This set retailed for $50 back in the day, had 522 pieces. It was something massive. I mean, getting a chance to get Nia and Lloyd. Sadly, Nia doesn't have her mask, and you have to get the Throne Room Shadow down to get that. But getting Nia, Lloyd, Harumi, and Garmadon all in one set is just like ridiculous. Here we have this little $5 Lego board game polybag, and then we also have this Stormbringer set. This set is a nice alternative to Diesel Knot if you want to get Jay and Zane, but you wouldn't get Wu, but you would get Daddy No Legs. Yeah, but this set was actually really special because you could combine it with Boost, which if you don't know was like a thing back in the day to make your dragon like walk, which I mean, I guess is cool. It was like the Smart Brick equivalent of today back then, but it made the build look so bad, which is like, bruh. Next, we have a book build your own adventure thingy. And then we have the J Kendo Pod. I actually got this one. It was like $9 back in the day. That is how I own my one and only J hairpiece. There was also a Kendo Cole. This came in the black suit. And then it also came with his headband, I believe. The one with brown instead of orange. Next up for the foil packs, you have the Woo Crew Training J minifigure. And then you have the Woo Crew Training Lloyd in black. Next, you have this random Sawyer minifigure. And then you have a Scooter minifigure with skates, and then you also have a Nia in her Woo Crew edition figure, and then you also have Buffer. This is the only good value figure thus far because this was the season 8 Cole minifigure, and that was exclusive to the Temple set. Here we have Jet Jack without a jetpack. Then we have Talon with a really nice orange chain piece, which is really useful in general. It sucks seeing these because Kai and Cole were the only minifigures that I was missing from season 8, so I really, really wish LEGO put these out in the US. I would have been able to get them. Here you have the Samurai X minifigure, which is pretty cool, and then you have the Nitro figure. I have no clue who he is. Here we have the Zane Kendo Pod, also $9 back in the day. Came with his white suit version, but was pretty much identical to the Cole and Jay ones. I genuinely have no clue what this is, but apparently this exists. This was called the Training Kit, came with 24 pieces. I guess it came with like chopsticks or so. I don't even know, bro. This one is weird because I don't think I actually saw this sell in stores. In fact, I remember seeing this as a gift with purchase like on Cyber Monday in 2018 for Ninjago sets. If you spent over $50, you got this, which is a pretty crazy deal because this thing is worth $141 new now, and used it's like 102. So man, this Ricktober pack really went up. Next up, we have the LEGO Ninjago Easter Bundle. I believe this retails for $45 back in the day and came with 4 Spinjitzus plus the ramp. Really cool set, man. I would have loved something like this back in the day because it was an easy way to get 4 Spinjitzus like all in one. Plus, a ramp in general is just really cool. But then again, affording $45 as a child is just not feasible. I believe this was a Toys R Us make and take. And then we had the Ninjago City Docks. This was prevalent in 2018 like hell. This was really cool to me back in the day. This was actually the first time we got a Mistake minifigure. Great way to get Nelson, Dareth, plus Lloyd and Garmadon. Really cool set overall. For the next year that we are going to be looking at, we're going to be looking at the year of 2019. This was a pretty big Ninjago year, as there were a total of 54 sets, the biggest ever. Starting off with our first polybag over here, we have the Mini Sam X polybag for Ninjago Legacy with 56 pieces and a Mini Sam X. Our next set here is the Ninja Workout set. It features a Season 8 Lloyd with a Season 10 mask and has one of those like little spinner thingies that came in the monastery to add to the fun. Legacy opens with a third polybag, that being the Fireflight set, a mini dragon including Kai in the same style as Lloyd from the previous polybag with a total of 54 pieces. Next up, we have Spinjitzu Kai. The set retailed for $10 back in the day and is honestly really good bang for your buck. While there isn't another minifigure for Kai to fight, you have a lot of cool power-ups to your Spinjitzu. Not to mention the Spinjitzu piece being used for most of these is a pretty good representation of the Spinjitzu on its own. And this one is for our Elemental Master of Lightning, Jay. For our next set here, we have the Spinjitzu Zane. Then we have Spinjitzu Cole, and then for the others, we have Nia versus Wu coming in their own $20 pack, and then Lloyd versus Garmadon coming in their own $20 pack. Next up, we have the Samurai Mech set, and this comes with a really nice Samurai X minifigure, which I honestly think looks a lot better than our Legacy 2026 version of her. The set itself is a really good build with 154 pieces, and it comes with 2 Skulkin Warriors, which is good value for $15. Our next set here is the Golden Dragon Lloyd set. This set had 171 pieces for $20, including both the Overlord and Lloyd, which is really awesome. I do have to say, while the old one from 2013 was a lot more expensive, it is much bigger and much better, making it the better build of the 2 dragons. Next up, we have the $30 set, the Kai's Blade Cycle and Zane Snowmobile, an amazing way to get both of these bikes for $30 and with great minifigures including Kai, Zane, and it also comes with one of those spinner thingies. Unlike the Golden Dragon, the Legacy Sword Fighter is definitely an upgrade from the original with $40 with Pythor, Jay, and Nia. This set is definitely peak with 490 pieces. Great value for sure. This next set is definitely a set that I want to get at some point because my first set was the original Earth Driller, so this one is much better, much bigger. It is really good looking, so if I could get this, it is worth $118 new. It used to be $50 for around 600 pieces back in the day. So, I mean, yeah, if I could find it, I'm definitely going to get my hands on this one. Here we have the Ninjago Monastery. I got this one back when I was a kid, and I really didn't like it because it would break apart really easy, and that's part of why I started my LEGO Ideas Ninjago Monastery project, which hit 10k, but doesn't look like it's going to become a set, sadly. Anyway, for well over 1,000 pieces and $80, this set was really good. It gave you every single one of the ninja. It acted as a great base and a great place for LEGO stop motions. Next up is the Ultra Dragon, and this thing was pretty awesome because you got Garmadon, Pythor, Lloyd, and Wu, all really great minifigures, and the Ultra Dragon itself looks like a really beautiful looking build. This set now retails for $189 new if you can find it. Next up, we have the Monastery Training LEGO set. I've always loved these little $10 bills, and it's a great way to get Kai and Nia for dirt cheap and get one of those spinner thingies again. Next up, we have the Ninjago minifigure set. This set comes with Kai, Clutch Powers, a Pyro Whipper, as well as an Ice Dude, a great little blister set, which I really wish they still did today because they stopped, sadly. Next up, we have a Lloyd's Journey set. This comes with Lloyd, an Ice Samurai, and Akita, which is a really nice way to get all these figures, but costed $15, likely due to the price of the Big Wolf Akita. And next up, we have the Cole's Dirt Bike set coming with Kai, Cole, and a Pyro Whipper, a really nice looking set for sure. And then followed up with that, we have the Shuricopter, which I have no clue why it's called that, but a really nice way to get a Jay and a Zane. And I guess Vex too for $30. Moving on to the Fire Fang, we have this set retailing for $40, likely due to the foil elements included, with Kai and Asphira, Sora. I guess not as good of a deal as other sets, but still pretty solid with 463 pieces. Here we have the Katana 4x4. This was an interesting card. It was different from a lot of other sets, but was still just kind of a general set. Came with Nia and Kai as well as Char, which is very interesting. Here we have the Lloyd's Titan Mech set. I believe this set is going to be returning into the show, which is awesome, and that's why it just recently got remade. But here we have Lloyd and Zane, a few Ice Samurai, and I believe Vex. Overall, pretty alright set. Though this was 80 and the new one is 130, so I guess a good deal overall, maybe. Oh, this is another one we're getting. I don't know if we're going to be getting this set, like, again, like the one that got stranded in the Neverrealm, or we're going to be getting a newer, more updated version of the set, but this is the Land Bounty, which is rumored to come in a set in summer 2026, but yeah, this was the original one that retailed for roughly $130 for 1,178 pieces in summer 2019. And for $130, it honestly came with some math figures. Things are looking up a bit with the Castle of the Forsaken Emperor. This has 1,200 pieces, which is crazy value, including a big ice dragon for $100. Again, the minifigures are just kind of meh. Lloyd and Cole, really, that's it. And I guess you get Akita, but yeah, generally one ninja minifigure, like one normal ninja for $100 is really, really dumb. Next up, we have the Ninjutsu Slam sets. These were also really, really good spinners. I kind of wish we got more of these. I really love how they are shot. Coming with an arguably worse side build, we have Jay, and then we have Zane over here. And lastly, we have one with Kai, as well as just some random Ice Samurai. For some of the magazine gifts, we have the Legacy magazines. You can see there's this version as well as this version, and that's why this year has so many sets. It's because you have things like this, another again, Wu, and then you have a legacy version of Wu in this cardboard box. They were testing versions, so that's why you see 2 of those sets, but now they have actually ended up sticking with the tin cans. For our next set, we have the Kai versus Whiplash Blister Pack, and this comes also like this, and then same with Jay versus Lasha. He also comes in the cardboard box too. And then for our next set here, we have the Oni Battle Pack. This was a really nice blister pack. I mean, 2019 was filled with these, so it was really cool to get them back in the day. And again, Lego, please give us these back to us for like $13, 3 minifigs, or even 4 sometimes. That is amazing value. Next up, we have Lloyd's Kendo Trading Pod. This retailed for $9. And then we have Wu in his hunted outfit, which was exclusive to the Diesel Knot, if my memory serves right. So that's really crazy to see here. Here we got Season 9, so essentially Hunted Jay. And then we had Heavy Mendel with her hairpiece, which they didn't pull off. That looks so bad. I really like the new Faith minifigure that we got so much better. We have the Iron Baron for Dirt Cheap. Like, man, wow. And then we have Lloyd here without his Ninjargon letter on his mask. Damn, Daddy No Legs, another exclusive minifigure. And then they also put Nia without, again, her Ninjargon symbol on her mask. For the next minifigure, we just have a rando Ice Samurai, and then we have Cole in his Season 8 outfit with a Season 10 hood. We then have a Pyro Whipper. Yeah, and then we have Kai in his Season 8 outfit, Season 10 hood. And then we have another Ice Samurai who doesn't have the helmet piece. And then, oh my god, we have Zane with a Season 8 outfit, Season 10 hood. And then we have Jay here, which looks good. But then again, he was literally in a $10 set, so yeah. Moving on to the year of the pandemic, we have 2020. A big issue with this year is because of COVID, a lot of supply chains failed and didn't allow for sets to come out on time, with the summer 2020 wave being the most affected by this. First things first, we have Kai's combo charger. This retailed for $5 back in the day, and it was a mini version of the X1 charger, which could turn into the Kai fighter. Our next $5 pulley bag here is Merchant Avatar J. He features his legacy outfit, but comes with a lot of really cool parts. This was a beautiful set back in the day. It was definitely an upgrade from the old one. This is the new version of the Thunder Raider that retails for $50 back when it released. 3 Ninja and the Overlord for $50 is actually a steal. Next up is the $10 Lloyd Jungle Raider set, and then we have this $20 Kai Fire Dragon set with Kai and Legacy Garmadon. Our next set here is the $40 Golden Mech set. This set was also a really good one, especially since the previous one was really small. So getting Wu, the Golden Ninja, and Kozu and a Big Mech is awesome for 489 pieces. Cole Speeder Car set. This is a $10 set, even though it looks like a 4+ vehicle. I kind of wish I got this one back in the day when I had that chance. Sadly, because of COVID, I really just didn't have that chance, but it still has a really cool Cole minifigure, which would have been awesome to get. The next set here is the Kai's Mech Jet set. This was the first variant of a mech jet that we've ever gotten before the one that we got in summer 2025. So this new one is arguably a lot cooler than the old one. Gamers Market, our first quote-unquote $30 battle pack set. This set did retail for $30 and came with some amazing minifigures. It did
did only come with the avatar outfits for Cole and Nia, but generally so many minifigures for a really cheap set. That's awesome. Another set that I really wish I got to have a chance at getting in hindsight. For our next set here, we have another awesome $30 set, this being the Jay and Lloyd's Velocity Racers Lego set. The next set that we have here is the Ninja Tuner car, this being Scott's car that retailed for $40 with 419 pieces back in the day. Our next set here is the J Cyber Dragon. This thing is a beast. At $50 with 518 pieces, you get Unagami, Jay, and Nia. Now that combined with the Temple of Madness is the ultimate duo, since you get most of the ninja, including Tsushimi, who's a really cool villain, plus a really cool game-like temple. Here we have the Empire Dragon retailing for $30 back in the day with 286 pieces, considered relatively expensive, but a great way to get Kai and Lloyd. And then for our arcade pods, we have Kai, which costs 42 now, Jay's, which costs 42 now too, and Lloyd's, which costs 39. So that is pretty good. They essentially 4x value in 6 years. For the next set here, we have the Golden Zane accessory set. This retailed for $13 back in the day. It was another one of those blister packs and came with 4 minifigures, including Golden Zane. Starting off June, which I actually believe some of these sets released in September in the US because of all the COVID delays, but we had Lloyd's Spinjitzu Burst, Cole's Spinjitzu Burst, as well as Kai's Spinjitzu Burst. For $30 set, we have this Juniors looking set that was not labeled under Juniors for some reason. And for $40, double the price of the original, we have the Kai Fighter Legacy remake, and this thing looks amazing. $40 is a bit expensive, but it does have 513 pieces plus some good figs. Next up, we have the Legacy Destiny's Bounty, and this thing is absolutely awesome. It was $130 back in the day, which is like around double the original, but it had 1781 pieces, and this thing was absolutely massive, so I would totally buy this. I believe it had 44 cm, so roughly half a meter in just length, which I believe is similar to sets like the Temple Bounty, but it's still really cool for a bounty like this. This set is often overhated because the figures are kind of meh for the price you're paying, but the build itself is beautiful. We got some more Master of the Mountain stuff with the Journey to the Skull Dungeon set. This set retailed for $30 and had 401 pieces. Again, amazing value. Plus 3 of the ninja for $30 is kind of crazy, including, I believe, Mert. This set was pretty awesome because it can connect with the rest of the sets from this wave to make like one big like game board. And this set was like the perfect starter for all that. For the next set here, we have Wu's Battle Dragon, which is essentially just Chompy. This set retailed for $20 back in the day and had 321 pieces, which is quite crazy to think about. Like Ninjago value between like 2017 to 2020 was really crazy. Next up, we have Zane's Mino Creature. This set was pretty awesome, but it was $50, which is quite expensive. But then again, it had 616 pieces plus Cole and Zane, so I guess it is quite solid. Next up, we have the Firestone Mech. This set retailed for $70 back in the day and had 968 pieces, including Nia, Kai, and Cole, which is just awesome. And then for just $10 more, we have the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, 1,016 pieces with $80, including Kai, Jay, and Nia. And then on top of that, the Skull Sorcerer plus a statue of Lily and 2 Awakened Warriors, which is just pure awesome. And you can combine that really well with this next set, this being the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeons. This set has Vania, Nia, Cole, and Lloyd, the counterparts to the other set to get the full lineup. Man, this set is crazy. It was one of the biggest back in the day with 1,171 pieces for $100. And it just looked really nice and had a really good game board aesthetic, as well as just generally a big build with one of the sides being 43 centimeters. Like that's as big as the bounty. Now moving on to magazine packs, this was the Legacy Magazine, 2 versions of the Cole vs. Ninjoid set. For the next set here, we have the Lloyd vs. Stone Warrior, which only has 1 version, the Wu versus the Skulkin Warrior, which has 2 versions for some reason. And then we have a Kai vs. Lasha. Moving on to the normal Ninjago magazine, we have FS Kai and then FS Lloyd, all from the spinner sets. Then they also put in the Ice Emperor, which is absolutely awesome and great to get for cheap. And then the Cole minifigure from Summer, which is awesome. Nia, again from Summer, beautiful. Jay from Summer. All these things were exclusive to the land bounty, with the exception of Cole, but still really cool to get. Zane was stuck in the Shuricopter, so beautiful. The Digiloid minifigure, which I guess is cool to get. The Digi-Kai minifigure, but sadly without his armor. And then we also have Richie over here. Yeah. But we did get Digi-J here. He just also doesn't have his armor. I honestly don't know who this is. It's probably Mert. And then lastly, Spinjitzu Burst Cole. What a wasted choice. The game aesthetic part, to me, was the coolest part of this wave. Like, you can combine and make something big, but then also, like, who is going to be able to afford all this? It would probably be roughly $300 for everything, and if you take out the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon, then maybe like $200.
but still quite expensive for a child to like get to make this board game. Moving on to the year that is the 10th anniversary of LEGO Ninjago, that being 2021, and this was also the year the Legacy theme died. A lot of people are going to be like, what are you talking about? We just got Old Town in 2026, which is a Ninjago Legacy set, but it was actually revived for 2026. It actually has been dead since 2021. They just brought it back because of 2026 being the 15th anniversary. And if you were wondering why it died, it was because it didn't sell too well, and this was mostly due to the fact that a lot of Ninjago fans that were kids at the time when the show started and became older just did not have that money like at that time. Like we're talking about the oldest audience being like teenagers, if not like very young adults. But right now at the 15-year standpoint, most of those people are like 24 years old, and the other teen fans that were fans at like season 8 are now 18, which just allows for so many more people who were originally interested in Ninjago back in the day to really get back into the theme. Starting off with our first set here, we have the Lloyd's quad bike set. This is the smallest set from the island, and it was a little $5 set. A great way to get that Lloyd minifigure, but he didn't come with his armor or mask, sadly. I happened to get this one. This was the titanium mini mech. It was a polybag with 77 pieces that could transform into another build. This alternate build being the mini titanium dragon from season 4 of the TV show. Now this set I think I actually got from a Target. It was a really fun little build, but for $5, little micro build that you're probably never going to touch again. It's kind of meh, but still cool. It's just a generally well-built Lego set. $10 for Kai's epic battle set over here. This set was actually pretty cool. You got a new Kai minifigure and a Skulkin, plus this really cool elemental powers pack, plus a little spinny thing to spin your minifigure on. Next up, you have one for Zane. I actually got this one back in 2021, mainly for the Zane hairpiece, because this was actually the first time that hairpiece was introduced in a Lego set. Next up, we have the Jay's epic battle set, followed by the Cole's epic battle set. All really amazing gimmick sets, and probably going to go down as one of the best type of gimmicks that we've ever gotten from Ninjago. It all gets better with the Tournament of Elements, a set that I really regret not getting because it was an amazing minifigure pack, came with a lot of cool elemental masters, including Jay and Kai, who have hair pieces that are pretty rare at this point to get on shelves, and a Spinjitzu cone and one of those little spinner things, all accompanied with a $30 build that has 283 pieces. Things are starting to get a little rocky with the Boulder Blaster. This set was a pretty big thing back in the day, but it was $40, which is quite expensive. In fact, I believe double the original price. However, this set is still really nicely built. It has 449 pieces and comes with an awesome minifigure selection. Here we have the original, or not even the original, the second version of the X1 charger. We're actually going to be getting another one in 2026, which I guess is cool for people like me who haven't bought the other two, because I really want an X1 charger. But here you also get Kai, Jay, and Cole, all really great minifigures for $50 and 600 pieces. This set is awesome. I really kind of wish I got it, but I'm happy we're going to be getting one at the end of 2026, so I can finally get my hands on one. Zane's Dynamite Battle is definitely an awesome set. This set had 840 pieces for $65, which this pricing is ridiculous. Now, the minifigure selection isn't the best thing ever, but for mostly new parts and new minifigures, that's great. This Overlord Dragon here represents exactly what I want Legacy to be, not necessarily just rehashing old builds that are there in the past, but builds that we could have gotten but didn't get back in the past. Like the Overlord Dragon is just so important and so cool, so I kind of wish that we keep getting more things like this when Legacy decides to continue. The crown jewel of the January 2021 wave. This actually didn't release in January of 2021. It released on February 1st, but if you were an Insiders or I guess VIP member at that time, you could get this on January 14th. This set has 22 minifigures and 5,685 pieces and retailed for $350. It actually retailed originally for $300, but got price bumped in 2022. This set is awesome. It retailed for roughly 4 years. It was around for 3 years and 10 months to be specific. Definitely an awesome Lego set. I kind of wish I did get it, but I kind of missed my chance, so that's going to really suck. But it is definitely one of the best cities, if not the best city module of everything. For the next set that we have here, we have one of the most clowned on Ninjago sets of all time. This was the 4+ Electro J Battle Mech set. We get so many better 4+ mech sets. Today, this set is honestly just quite terrible. And this set was ridiculously expensive at $20 for such a terrible build. Next up, we have the Lloyd's Jungle Chopper bike set. I got the set for $20 back in the day. It had 183 pieces and was honestly a really strong bike build for what you were getting, and gave you a Lloyd minifigure as well as the exclusive Nia minifigure.
If you weren't a fan at the time, you probably didn't know this, but the amulet you see there is actually a fake version of the amulet, and the real one can only be found in the Temple of the Endless Sea set. Here's a direct representation of what I mean. This amulet here was the one that was only available in the March 2021 or the Island wave, and then these two were only available in the Summer 2021 wave or the Seabound wave. So you can see that this one is obviously not as good looking as the other one. So this is actually supposed to be a fake version of this one. And for these two, you can see they both have opalescent colors showing that they are filled with power. And this one just has a transparent color. So really cool, honestly, a very fun and interesting detail.
Next set here is Zippy. This set was pretty awesome. It did have a Lloyd minifigure and Zane, none of them being actually exclusive, but still a really good set for roughly $40, which is quite awesome, and 506 pieces. Talk about that Ninjago value back in the day. This next set here is the Keeper's Village set. This set retailed for $50 and had 632 pieces, including Kai, J, Cole, and King Mammotus, including the little golems. These things are literally the peak of the island. This is the only other island set that I got back in the day. It was such an awesome build. Our next set that we have here is the Catamaran Sea Battle. The set retails for $70 and has 780 pieces, including 2 catamarans, which is just such an interesting and unique idea that was introduced to Ninjago. So this probably might go down as one of the best sets, at least of 2021. Moving on to the Summer Wave, we're opening up with the 4+ Legacy set. This is the Kai's Blade Cycle set. Had 54 pieces, 2 minifigures, and retailed for $10. Ultrasonic Raider. This set honestly kind of sucks. It was a pretty bad Legacy remake. I like the old one so much better, and I would die for that one. But yeah, no, this set kind of sucks. It did come with Golden Zane and came with a few ninja, but with 725 pieces and $80, this was not looked on well back in the day. $40 Final Flight of the Destiny's Bounty. This is most definitely the worst Destiny's Bounty to ever exist. 147 pieces for $40 is quite ridiculous. I mean, at least you get 4 minifigures, but like, does anyone actually want this? Lloyd's Hydromech, what a cool $20 set with 228 pieces. I guess it's just somewhat unique in general. Yeah. Okay, this thing was peak back in the day. This is the Ninja Subspeeder, come with Jay and Cole, and a really cool looking J car. J cars are genuinely some of the coolest vehicles in Ninjago ever because they're always so unique and so cool. We're in build heaven right now because the Fire Dragon attack is here. This set had 563 pieces for $50, but has such amazing wings and just is generally a beautiful build, man. It's actually so funny to see a similar sized water dragon in the same wave. This one retailed for $80 with 737 pieces. I kind of wish I got this specifically for the NRG Nia minifigure because that minifigure looks absolutely awesome, and so does Kalmar. Wojira was kind of done a little dirty because she is very small and not very posable, but she fits in well with this temple set that retailed for $100 for 1,060 pieces. It came with only Kai and Nia as the main ninjas, which kind of sucks, but you do get Bento and I guess some fun little builds. This is the Hydra Bounty set. Man, I really wanted this thing, but back then I was too young to have any actual money. I used to dream about this, man. $140. This was the price increase number. It was actually $130 back in the day and had 1,159 pieces for all 6 ninja, including Kalmar. Just such a beautiful little Lego set here. Here we have the Ninjago 10th Anniversary Brickheads, and this set had a very interesting case because this wasn't treated like a normal set. It was originally a purchase with purchase, not a gift with purchase, but a purchase with purchase, because you had to first spend $85 on Ninjago, and if you did, you could spend $10 extra to get the set. Now then, eventually it was released normally for retail, and it was released for $30, and that's how they sold the remaining stock. So a very interesting promotion, so to speak. Going into the Legacy magazines, we have Wu and Garmadon. Then we have Cole versus Lasha, and you can see they've fully set into the cardboard because they don't have 2 versions. We have Lloyd and his ghost. And then we have Jay versus Iser. And then we also have Kai versus a Ninjoid. Zane versus Whiplash. You can essentially obtain every ninja through these Legacy magazines. To no one's surprise, the very cheap Spinjitzu Burst Lloyd, but you also got the Master Mountain Zane without his mask, sadly, still cool. And then we also have the Skull Sorcerer, which is awesome. And then the Island J minifigure, along with a Keeper over here. And then for the next figure, we have Kai with a flamethrower. I have no clue why he would need one, but I'm sure that would be cool for a kid. Then we have Polaric, who was technically exclusive to a set, but he doesn't have any special parts.
a full Lloyd minifigure with no armor, sadly, and then Scuba Cole. They gave every Scuba Ninja out this way, so Scuba J is over here. Then they also gave a Maragar. And then for the next minifigure, they gave Scuba Nia. This was the only one that didn't have her scuba mask. And then we lastly have Scuba Kai for this year. With the magazines done, we have the final set, and this is the Temple of Celebrations. If you don't know what the set was, it was actually an employee gift. It was a set that LEGO gave to all their employees at the end of the year. It had 1320 pieces and currently retails on the market for $300. It also did back in the day, and I'm guessing it's a little bit more rare now and a lot harder to find. It is usually found around $200 due actually, so I don't think it's that hard to get, but it came with all the Golden Ninja, which is awesome, and a really cool just general temple build. If you want to see the actual set itself, here is how it looks. Again, an amazing minifigure selection, and it was pretty sad that this set was not available for retail because it came with a really cool build, and technically this is the only Ninjago Christmas set ever to exist, which I guess won't ever be for retail, which is just kind of sad. It'd be really cool to get at least something Ninjago Christmas related at some point. Hopefully an advent calendar, but we'll see. Moving on to the final year of the original Ninjago TV show, that being 2022, where we had the Ninjago Core and Crystallized Waves. Here we have the Mini Thunder Raider set. This was actually a GWP. I got it when I bought the Crystallized stuff, but it was a GWP for June 1st. But I'm pretty sure you can also buy it in January for like $5 for the 69 pieces. Mini Lloyd Suit Mech, again, $5, 59 pieces. Oh look, to no one's surprise, we have a second Lloyd mech. This set retailed for $10 and had 57 pieces, which is a much better deal compared to the Electro mech that we got that other year. Overall, I guess good for like 4-year-olds. Next up, we have this random J Dragon Evo set. This set retailed for $20 back in the day. It had 140 pieces. It did look like a 4+ build. But yeah, Ninjago just wasn't really good at this point. Now this, for $10, was a really good build. It had 95 pieces and is a really good looking mech. This was actually the introduction of the Evo joints in general, and this is when we started getting the Evo parts that you still see in sets today. Yeah, this Kai Dragon is kind of mad, but that is exactly what Ninjago Evo was. Yeah, $35 for 204 pieces. Like, the pricing, as you could see here, was dog water. Now the next set we have here is the Lloyd's Race Car Evo set. This set was a pretty simple little Lloyd car, just another one on top of like the 5 that we already have. $35 for 279 pieces. Now the bigger sets in this wave are definitely the better ones. This is the Ninja Ultra Combo Mech. It came with all 4 Ninja in a really cool combiner mech design, which is the first combiner mech that we've ever gotten. Still a really cool mech with $90 and 1,100 pieces. This set was amazing. Lloyd's Legendary Dragon was quite solid at $70 for 747 pieces. Some really good figures, I guess, but overall a kind of like alright build. I remember getting this one back in the day for $100. It had 1,400 pieces, which is crazy. It was an amazing build. Had so many cool minifigures. Definitely one of the better sets of 2022 for sure. Next up, we have the Jay and Nia's Race Car Evo set. This set retailed for $50 back in the day and had 536 pieces. And while it is a solid car in some senses, it did look kind of weird. But I guess it had a unique build, that being the helicopter, which is just really cool to get at some times, especially when Ninjago is so oversaturated with no villain stuff and just generally, if so, bad like little mechs and stuff. They also have these spinners, which I got back in the day too. This was Kai's, and then we have Lloyd's. All of them are just kind of alright. And then there was also Jay's, which leaked actually in Target early. Funnily enough, I actually own the Target slip that this thing leaked in. Next up, we have this set that was supposed to go hand in hand with the dojo, this being the Ninja Training Center. It had the 2 ninja minifigures that you wouldn't get in the dojo and was honestly a really cool set. I really liked how this was 524 pieces for $40. And if you get that other set, you get roughly 2,000 pieces for just $140, which is awesome. Next up, we have the Ninja Dragon Temple, which was $45 with 161 pieces. Yep, you heard that right. It is that expensive. I believe it was a 4+ set, so that's kind of why the price sucks, but yeah, no, it generally just was not a good LEGO set. Next up, we have the Jay's Golden Dragon motorbike set, and this set was small as hell, like $20 for 137 pieces, plus a really bad, like, Crystal Spider build. Yeah, Crystallized was not cooking sometimes. What's even worse is for $45 we have this gold car, which, like, isn't absolutely terrible. Like, we have $55 cars today that absolutely suck, but man, 45 back in the day, especially for a set that only had 384 pieces, yeah, not it.
The Zane's Golden Dragon Jet is a cool set too, I guess. This set retailed for $35 with 258 pieces, which is honestly not really that great. And then I also got this next set that we have here, which is the Crystal King Temple. I didn't really care too much for the set. Like, it looks cool, but it's just lying in a pile of other stuff. It gets very boring very quick. As you can see, I got this one for the figures. This set retailed for $80, and I remember finding it in Costco for like $55, and I regret not buying it because it was a pretty cool set and had some really good figures. But yeah, I mean, for 722 pieces, it's not terrible. But like only one ninja, like the minifigure distribution here sucks. Next up, we have the Kai's Golden Dragon Raider set, and this set retailed for $90 back in the day, which is really, really crazy with 624 pieces. Now, at least the minifigures aren't absolutely terrible. You get Mr. F, the Zane minifigure, as well as Skylor and Kai. So I guess there's some redeeming factors about it, but still. Pretty expensive, but I guess not as bad as what we get today. Here we have the Golden Ultra Dragon. This set was $150 for 900 pieces, which is absolutely ridiculous, but at least the minifigures are solid. You get all the main ninja, plus Oni Lloyd, plus the Crystal King. So yeah, I guess there's some redeeming factors about this. Here we have the Samurai X-Pac. The set retailed for $120 with roughly a little over 1,000 pieces. It did have some beautiful minifigures. Like the minifigure selection in this one is the main reason I bought it because it's all so crazy. And I mean, I guess the mech build is okay too. The Dragonite is very forgettable, and the mech, while cool, just isn't as good as some of the other ones that we get today, like the Coal Sun Dragon mech, but it was still a really good build for its time. Next up, we have the Ninjago gift set. This set was actually exclusive to Walmart, and it retailed for $35 back in the day, but it had $50 worth of value, as gift sets usually do have. Next up, we have the Cole vs. Ronin Little Magazine gift set. This is the first of the Legacy magazines for this year, and it was a really cool one, actually. The Ronin minifigure is a great minifigure to get, especially since I believe he was exclusive to the Ninjago City Gardens. Zane vs. Nidroid is the next set. Yeah, and then we have Kai versus a Cobra person. Next up, we have Lloyd versus the Overlord. It's a nice way to get him. And then we have Jay versus another Nidroid. Man, they keep doing this. And then we have Kai versus a Ghost. Wow. And Lloyd versus another Cobra guy. We have Zane over here versus Garmadon. And this is the crystallized Garmadon because you can see he has that crystallized torso, but he has nothing else. Moving on to the normal Ninjago magazine, we have Benthomar. And then for the next minifigure, we have Scuba Lloyd, which is the 5th figure of the Scuba set. And then we also have Glutinous. And then we have our last minifigure of the Scuba set, that being Scuba Zane. Then they decide to put in Core J, which is really cool. And they put in Core Cole, which was in only $90 sets plus. And then we have the Golden Dragon Kai minifigure and the Lloyd minifigure that was exclusive to the Crystal King set, but this one doesn't come with his mask, sadly. Here we have the Golden Dragon Zane minifigure. I wish these released in the US because I want all the Golden Dragons forms so bad, bruh, but like getting them right now, I can't get them unless they spend like $60. Yeah, magazines were really cooking because they included the Crystal King too. Then they included a bit more generic pick, Cole, and then we have a Crystal Brute, I guess, to army build. And then lastly, you also have this Oni Lloyd minifigure, which is awesome. I was actually able to get his mask from Pick-a-Brick, so that's how I made my full Oni Lloyd minifigure. Next up, we have a season with one of the most expensive waves in Ninjago history. That is 2023 with Dragons Rising, debuting this year and finally ending the original Ninjago TV show. It starts relatively strong with this Ice Dragon polybag set. Definitely a good little one over here. And then you can see that it has a 2-in-1 build, which is a different version of the Ice Dragon set that you will see later when I show like the full Lego set. This set is the Kai car set. It still retails for $10 to this day because it's still on shelves for some reason. I think it's going to retire in July of 2026, but yeah, for some reason it has had a very long shelf life, and I guess that's because Kai cars are just very popular. Next up, we have the Lloyd's Mech Battle Evo set, and this set is a really fun set. It's a great way to get Lloyd as well as another villain character and 2 really good looking mechs for $20 and 223 pieces. Definitely solid, and it does come with a new and exclusive Lloyd minifigure. Lego finally made it cheaper to get the Cole minifigure, and this retailed for $35 back in the day with 285 pieces. Now, this dragon is quite chubby. It definitely looks really weird and kind of funny, but at least it is canon to the Dragons Rising show, so there is some merit in that. Next up, we have Kai's Mech Rider Evo set. This set retailed for $45 back in the day and only had 312 pieces, which absolutely sucks. Like, this value is just terrible. A lot of people didn't like this set. I mean, it was a really cool idea. The Mech Rider in general was a new idea introduced for that year, but for the price tag and for the figures that you were getting, it was definitely not as good as it could have been.
I believe this was the Design Go Lychee Wings, one of his first LEGO sets. This had 146 pieces for $10. Definitely an amazing looking and beautiful LEGO set. This was Lychee Wing after all, so you can expect the design to be like literally some of the best ever. Next up, we have the J10 mech set. This set retailed for $80 back in the day and had 794 pieces, which is honestly quite solid. It is a really good looking mech. It doesn't have knee joints sadly, but overall for what you're getting, it is definitely worth that $80 price tag. Next up, we have the Ice Dragon creature, and then this was the big one that just got a poly bag. This set was actually really cool, but you only got Zane and Pixal for $100, which is kind of crazy, and 973 pieces isn't great either. And then here's the mech transformation. You can actually just rebuild this entire thing into a mech, but the dragon looks so much better. Here we have the Creative Ninja Brick Box, and if you're wondering why this set was called a box, you'll see so in a second. This was a really cool LEGO set because it gave you all these little training features for little kids to start like playing with their ninja. Like, this is just so cool, and I hope they do more stuff like this. Like, you're getting starter vehicles, you're getting a starter like home base, all awesome. And yeah, the reason the set was called a brick box is because it was literally packaged in a brick box. Here we have the last $10 gimmick set, this being the Lloyd's Ninja Street Bike set. Overall, a really solid LEGO build for $10.64 pieces. And then lastly, we have the Nia's Water Dragon Evo. This is actually the last ninja dragon that is needed. We got a Lloyd, we got a Kai, we got a Cole, we got a Jay, we got a Zane, and this is the last dragon that they have to do. This was actually the second smallest. I think it's just a little smaller. Actually, it's a little bigger than the J Dragon, but yeah, no, this is the last dragon that they need to do. Next up, we have the start of a goated Holy Bag series, this being the Kai and Raptor Temple Battle. So the series that this technically started was a series where every Holy Bag has too many figures and a little build to go along with it. This has been going on for 2024 and 2025, as you'll see, and hopefully 2026. And then here we have the Kai's Dragon Power Spinjitzu Flip. This set retailed for $11 back in the day. I don't know why they increased it from 10 to 11 temporarily. I think they were trying to push a price increase, but it didn't work because they brought the price back down to 10. This set had 72 pieces and was pretty solid. I mean, I think it's still really fun to get these like little spinners, especially since this one could like actually flip and stuff. Next up, we have Nia's Dragon Power Spinjitzu Drift, and this set is not as luxurious as Kai's because it doesn't have as much, but it's still a really cool build, and it's a nice way to get Dragon's Rising in Season 1 year, since all her other variants were in very, very expensive sets. And for the next minifigure that we have here, or the next Spinjitzu, we have Lloyd's Dragon Power Spinjitzu Spin, and essentially it's specialized in spinning, which is probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard, but you know what? Yeah, this was 56 pieces for $11 back in the day, and it did also come with the Golden Dragon Energy Core like the other ones. This next one is actually a 4+ set, and this is when 4+ sets start to get good because we're actually getting good value. This set had 103 pieces, but it had two pretty good sized cars for $20, this being the Kai and Ra's car and bike battle. Overall, not too shabby. I mean, generally, like I said before, this set is pretty good in terms of its pricing because you're getting two decently sized vehicles for a good $20 and a nice way to get Kai as well as Lord Raz for relatively cheap. Next up, we have the Imperium Dragon Hunter Hound set. This set retailed for $20 back in the day and had 198 pieces. A great way to get these Lloyd and Jay minifigures, including an Imperium Hunter Hound, which was pretty prominent in the show. This Zane's Ninja race car was the definition of peak because this thing could literally spin. Now, it did have 307 pieces for $35, which is relatively steep, but did have big wheels, including a lot of minifigures, so I guess it's worth it in some senses. One of my friends gifted this one to me. This was the Sora's Transforming Mech Bike Racer, and this was a really cool set for $48 and 384 pieces. There was just a lot to it, and I really enjoyed building this one. It was a little expensive for sure, but it did have a really cool feature where it could turn into a mech and a bike, and it looked like an actual bike and an actual mech, making it feel like a lot more worth it. You also got Ryu and Arin, which is, I guess, cool for $50. Next up, we have the Heatwave Transforming Lava Dragon set. This set retailed for $55 back in the day and had 480 pieces, and Wyldfyre was exclusive to this set, sadly. Now, luckily for me, she did appear on Pick-a-Brick at the end of the year, and that's how I got my hands on her. But yeah, no, this set was definitely not it, and is relatively low ranked just because of its price and lack of an actual like strong build. Lloyd and Arin's Ninja Team Mech set is an alright set. This set was also one of the ones that wasn't liked too much because of the fact that it was $80 for 764 pieces, and the minifigures absolutely sucked as all of them were found in much, much cheaper LEGO sets. Our next set here is the $95 Temple of the Dragon Energy Cores. This set had 1,000 pieces and was designed by our GOAT Lychee Wing. It was giant. I saw this in person and it looked amazing. Definitely one of the best sets to come out of Ninjago in a while. Next up, we have the Elemental Dragon versus the Empress mech set. This set retailed for $130 back in the day and only had 1,000 pieces. But then again, this set is still praised to this day for the immaculate Jiro build, as well as the amazingly posable Empress mech build. Unlike the other two, the Destiny's Bounty Race Against Time is a set that is not celebrated. It did have 1,739 pieces, but retailed for $160, which is super expensive, and it didn't even have an iconic dragon head. Instead, they replaced that with Xanth, which you could fit in the Lego set, but a lot of people found that quite stupid and generally just didn't like the set overall for the kind of value we were getting, especially since every single minifigure in the set can be found in much cheaper Lego sets. Next up, we have the Nia and Arin's Baby Dragon Battle set. This set retailed for $35 back in the day and was, yes, another 4+ set. And I believe the baby dragon here is just a baby version of Jiro, which looks really stupid. I believe they made a whole new part for that, which kind of sucks, but I mean, I guess this is kind of alright. A nice way to get Nia because she's only in more expensive sets after this. This one means a lot to me. This is the Ninjago City Market's one of the this is the biggest Ninjago set ever at $370 for 6,000 pieces. This thing is amazing. I still love it to this day. It's probably one of my favorite Ninjago set, if not like the favorite Ninjago set for me. This set retailed for $370, which was quite expensive for me at the time, but I think with starting my YouTube channel and all this, that was like the first money that I got and I spent it directly on this set. And this is about the time where I was able to actually afford like bigger sets and stuff, but man, this set means so much to me and it's just such a big, awesome set. It sadly retired just last year, but yeah, no, definitely a set that if you ever have the chance of getting, I would honestly recommend it over almost anything, including the new Old Town. Moving on to the Legacy magazines, we have Master Wu here for dirt cheap and a Ghost Archer, and then we also have Kai versus the Skeleton King, which is awesome. They did also start experimenting with the tin can, so you see it here. And then we also had Lloyd and this guy with the tin can, and then Cole and this other like skull guy, and then we also had Jay and another skull guy, and then we had Pixal, so something new, and then a Cobra mechanic, and then we had Dragon J, which is just so awesome, plus the Crystallized Skull Sorcerer. Like, I really wanted this figure too, and then Dragon Cole, like, man, Lego, please. And then we also had Crystallized Asphira, just another amazing minifigure, Crystallized Zane, which is still really cool, and then Oni Garmadon in his full flesh, for the one that was exclusive to the $120 set in this really cheap Lego set. So that is just like awesome. Like, man, Lego, please bring these to the US so I can actually afford some of these figs. Next up, it gets a little boring with the rest of these. We have Kai, and then we have Lord Roz, which is also pretty cheap. Then we have Arin, which, I mean, I guess he's in a little bit more expensive sets, but still cheap. And then we have this like random henchman. Yeah. Then we have Sora with a crystallized sword for some reason. And then we have Lloyd, which came out towards the end of this year. And then Zane ending off this year for the magazines. And then lastly, we also had this SDCC Riyu, which sucks because it was given away the year before I started going to SDCC. This set is now worth like $2,000, $3,000. Like, Duckbricks single-handedly made it that expensive because he tried to get his hands on it from some of the people that went to SDCC and got it. And yeah, no, this set is extremely expensive to get your hands on now, and almost no one has it just because there were only a few copies given away at San Diego Comic-Con. This next year is probably the best year in terms of the Lego sets you're getting. 2024 was absolutely amazing with Dragons Rising Season 2, and it's amazing sets that went with it. The first set that we're going to be looking at here is the Zane's Dragon Power Vehicle set. Now, this here is the micro version of the Spinjitzu car that we didn't see too long ago, and that can be turned into this crystallized jet that we saw in the crystallized sets. Our next set here, also by Lychee Wing, is the Micro Ninjago City set. This set was a gift with purchase, so it wasn't a retail set, but it was an insider point that you could get, I think, for roughly 1,800 points, and this had 339 pieces and was a really nice build overall and a really cool thing that Lychee Wing pushed and made for us, so thank you, Lee. This next set here is the Kai's Rising Dragon Strike set, and these sets get a lot of flack because they don't look anything like the actual Rising Dragon Strikes. I mean, they do, but they are way out of proportion, and they can't do much for the $10 price tag as maybe a spinner might do. Along with Kai, we have a water one for Nia, and then we also have one for Arin, which doesn't really make sense, but
Yeah, we do. Arin's second appearance in this wave is in this little 4+ set that's called the Arin's Battle Mech Lego set, and this set retailed for $16 with 104 pieces. Pretty good value for a 4+ Lego set. This set over here is the Jay's Mech Battle Pack set, and this set retailed for $10 and had 78 pieces, but 4 awesome minifigures, with one of them being exclusive, that Jay minifigure being the exclusive, and then the Lloyd minifigure only appearing in a $120 set, the Dragonstone Shrine. This next one is the Cole's Elemental Earth Mech set, and as you probably know, these sets can switch out with the other elemental mechs that we'll be seeing, but this specific one had 235 pieces for $20, which is pretty solid overall. Not to mention, this is crazily sturdy and has amazing posability, so definitely worth picking up if you get that chance. The next one here is Sora's Elemental Tech Mech, and this is as good as the other, but it still has great value with 209 pieces for that $20 price tag, including a tree as well as a little mech glider pack for the villain. On paper, the Kai's Elemental Fire Mech is pretty good value for $30. It has 322 pieces and 2 mechs. However, the Wolf Mask mech isn't really well built and is very forgettable, so honestly, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this set, but it is still really cool. This one is still on shelves for some reason, despite the other elemental mechs retiring, so I don't know what LEGO has planned for that. The next set that we have here is the Egalt, the Master Dragon set. This set retailed for $70 back in the day and had 532 pieces. I bought this day one because I wanted the minifigures, but I would definitely not recommend this set. This set is way too expensive for getting absolutely nothing, and the dragon himself is very small without any wings. This next set is absolutely amazing. This is the Young Dragon Riyu set. It was the first way you could actually get the Sora hairpiece, and this set retailed for $16 and had 132 pieces. So yeah, it was a really good set. I mean, you could get the Riyu build for roughly $16 instead of $20, which is just a good deal overall. This set is notorious for being ridiculously overpriced. It had 267 pieces, only 4 minifigures for $50, which is kind of crazy. Even if you get Riyu, it's still very, very expensive. However, this set is actually quite big, and a lot of people do like it for that. It was 9 inches big, but from what I've heard, it still feels like a $20 set because it doesn't take that long to build due to how many big pieces there are. The next set that we have here is Kai's Ninja Climber Mech, and while a lot of people say this is overpriced at $70 for 623 pieces, I actually got my hands on this for $45, but I honestly, after buying it, wouldn't have mind paying a full $70 for it just because of how cool the mech is. It's a unique take on a mech, and it also has a climber feature, allowing you to hang your mech off of anywhere, and if you mod it, you could have it with 2 hooks, which is just even more awesome. Overall, it's a really good set. It does only come with 2 of the main ninja, that being Kai and Jay, and it would have been cool to get a few more, but you know, Lego's just Lego now. The Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo is a very celebrated Lego set. This set had 1,190 pieces for $120. And yeah, this set is awesome. And it is one of our first big villain builds in a while, helping make this year as good as it is. It also has a crazy figure selection with 3 exclusive minifigures, that being Nia, Zane, and Lloyd, and comes with Roz, Cinder, and Jordana, which is just, again, amazing for the $120 price tag. It's definitely the ultimate set for kids. Our next set here is the Kai Source Dragon Battle set, and I think they're using the term Source Dragon a bit loosely here because that definitely does not look like a Source Dragon and definitely isn't one of the main 7 Source Dragons. This set retailed for $38 back in the day and had only $120 pieces, and as you could tell, this was probably not one of the better price sets. Now, it did come with Climber Kai, which is really cool, but generally, for the price you're paying, this was a pretty bad set. This next set here is the Lloyd's Elemental Power Mech set. This set has 253 pieces and retailed for $20, including 2 Ninja, which is pretty awesome. However, this set released in March and was supposed to retire by December of 2024, but it was sold out a lot earlier and was really hard to find soon after. Our last set of the March wave is the Dragonstone Shrine set, and this thing is giant with 1,212 pieces for $120. This is another set designed by Lee Chi-wing, and it is definitely an amazing and beautiful build. And overall, this was a really cool set outside of the minifigure selection, however, because while there were 2 exclusive minifigures, the other minifigures were very generic and very easy to get in other ways, so not a lot of people wanted this set for that reason, and it was mostly a set that appealed to non-Ninjago fans, mostly because of its design, so you could often find it in places like Costco, but
also on a lot of sales.
Another beautiful Lychee Wing set. This is the Micro Ninjago City Docks. Again, this was another Insider's Reward. This started in April of 2024, and yeah, it's a really nice version of the Ninjago City Docks. Our next set here is the Tournament Training Ground set, and this set is one of the best LEGO Ninjago polybags ever, mainly because of what it does. It serves as a Wolf Mask battle pack because you could get a ton of these. You also get a really cool ninja minifigure, that being cool, and you also get this army buildable part of a little Lego base that you can connect to your tournament temple city in your tournament battle arena. So it's really cool because you could get like tons of these and you could extend and make your arena a lot bigger. Our next set here is the Tournament Temple City. This set retailed for $250, is still on shelves, and has roughly 3,500 pieces, which is really good. It is one of the better LEGO Ninjago DTCs, but it doesn't have a lot of competition. It is really weird in its structure. It isn't blocky like the Ninjago City set, so it does get some flack for that, and it's really hard to display sometimes, but overall, for 14 minifigures, you're getting a really good deal on this. And if you compare it to a set like the Ninjago City Workshops, it seems so much better at the $250 price tag. Next up, we have the Zane's Ice Motorcycle set. This set retailed for $10 back in the day and had 84 pieces, and this was pretty awesome, actually. This bike is really built in terms of its size. It has a lot of big pieces. However, it doesn't come with Zane's armor piece when it could have easily included it, so I mean, there's some faults there, but it's still, I guess, a good set overall. Next up, we have the Tournament Battle Arena set. This set was pretty cool. It had 659 pieces for $50. You do get a lot in this set, and it is pretty decently sized. And, you know, for $50, the minifigures you get are quite crazy. The build is still kind of small despite its really high piece count. And it can connect with the Tournament Temple City set, so I guess there's some benefit there. But overall, this was an amazing set. It came with a bunch of Elemental Masters. Definitely worth it for any kid. Our next LEGO Ninjago set here is the Ninja Team Combo Vehicle. This set was pretty cool. It had 576 pieces for $90. So there is a bunch going on here, but the price tag really, really does suck. And I heard the treads don't work too well, so all in all, just not a great set. Now, the Cold Titan Dragon mech is honestly one of the best LEGO mechs ever. I had bought it recently in October. It is an amazing deal for what you're getting. However, the arm joints do get loose after time, so while it was amazing to me when I got it, it started to become worse, and I guess that's just a flaw with the LEGO set. But overall, this is a really, really beautiful set, making this one of the best sets of 2024 for sure. And this is quickly followed by another goated set by Lychee Wing. This is the Source Dragon of Motion set. This set retails for $150 and had 16 pieces. You get a lot of cool minifigures in this. I know a lot of people are like, man, there should have been more minifigures, but honestly, for a dragon that only needs like 1 or 2 figures to pilot it, having 6 is still really cool in general. And you also get these transparent little Source Dragon motion like spirit thingies, so overall, really, really cool. I definitely love the set. It was my first like giant dragon, and I believe it is the biggest Ninjago dragon. So there's a lot to love for a set like this. Then you also have the Micro Ninjago City Garden set, which again was another one of those GWPs, and this was released in July and was also another set that Lychee Wing made himself. In fact, Lychee Wing took time out of his day, like outside of work, to go ahead and make these because he's a really big fan of Ninjago. And so that's why we got these Ninjago City modules as gift with purchases, these micro versions of them. And yeah, this is the Ninjago City Markets, the best Ninjago City in my opinion, but that is a very controversial opinion. Our next set here is the World Builder set, and yeah, this was just stuff part of the World Builder book, and I think this was Lychee Wing too. And then we also have this random polybag that I don't know where this is from, but it exists, and I guess it's a part pack of some sort. This next set here is Zane versus the Skull King, and this set looks absolutely awesome. I actually got this like just recently, like a few days ago, as it was an extra on one of the Legacy magazines that I got. So I'm super happy to get that, because getting that like Bone King, I keep messing up his name, but the Bone King for cheap and with that cape is really, really awesome. Cinder versus Kai is a pretty solid Legacy magazine choice. And then you also get Arin versus a Wolf Mask and Lloyd versus, I don't know what that is. And then here we have Cole versus Roz, which is amazing. And then the exclusive Lloyd versus an exclusive Misdemeanor. And then back to the actual Ninjago magazine, you have a Wolf Mask Warrior. Then you have Jay, which actually looks quite awesome with chi pieces. And then you have this random dude, Imperium. And then you also have a Climber Kai minifigure. And again, I wish the magazine's released here so I could get these. This is the only Dragon's Rising suit set that I don't have. But yeah, they have Climber Lloyd too. The Spirit guy, he was on Pick-a-Brick, but I don't think his complete fig was, so I didn't get him. And then here we have the Climber Cole minifigure, which is awesome. You do also get Roz, another beautiful minifigure. And then you also have Climber Zane. Wow. And then you also get the Wolf Mask Warrior with that red armor. Now that red armor was available on Pick-a-Brick and I believe still is. So yeah, you can just go ahead and get that. I got this magazine figure because one of my family friends was in the UK at this point. And so I was able to get this Climber Nia, which is awesome. And then lastly over here, you have a Climber J. This next year is very, very controversial for Ninjago. 2025 had a lot of great sets in people's eyes and a lot of bad sets in people's eyes. There was just a lot of controversy in the community on what sets are good and what sets weren't. So here is the Micro Combiner Mech set. This is a micro version of the Combiner Mech set that you would see in 2025. And at the bottom here, you can see the separate builds that it can turn into. Our next set here is the Kai Spinner set. And this spinner was really awesome. I really love the spinner system. Essentially, you would have these like power parts that you could put on a base spinner. And you could get these sets for like $10 where you could get a Kai minifigure as well as a villain. So you could do a lot with these. And I'm really happy to have them. I got my hands on all of them once I found that they were continuing them into next year, but you have Sora, and then you also have Arin and Roz, which is a really awesome thing that is like, yeah, you're getting all these cool colors, which is great. And then here we have a Zane mech battle pack. This one probably isn't as cool as Jay's. It is definitely bigger, and you also get Drix as well as Zane, but shirtless, which is just an awesome pick. But yeah, no, overall, LEGO did do a great job in making this. And it's just really cool to keep getting these battle packs. And I hope LEGO does continue this tradition past 2026, like the Kai one we got. This next set is the Lloyd's Pullback Race car. And for some reason, I just found this out today. This set is going to be around till December 31st, 2028. It's the longest living Ninjago set of like everything we know so far, which is kind of crazy, I guess. Kids like Lloyd, so they just decide to keep it on shelves. And then this set here is a very controversial set because a lot of people love the build, but the minifigure on it actually sucks because it's not the new Lloyd minifigure, but it's just a combination of old parts. Anyway, it does come with Aridini, like the golden Riyu, so I think a lot of people like it for that, but yeah, no, I wasn't going to go get this for just that golden figure. And while everything here is still pretty cool, it just isn't cool enough for a lot of people to justify the $20 for a kind of boring set like this. This one here is absolutely terrible. Another Mech Rider set for $50. Only one villain, that being a Dragonian. Like, you couldn't even give us a Forbidden 5, which kind of sucks. And then you get Kai without his armor. And then you also get Nia with an armor piece. Like, overall, while there are some cool redeeming aspects to it, and I like the fact that Ninjago is trying to do stuff that are unique, just $50 for a set that doesn't have that many pieces is quite ridiculous overall. And now this next set didn't have a lot of pieces either, but it was praised because this is a 4+ set. This had a little over 200 pieces, I believe, and had $40 on it, which is like, $40 for this is kind of worth it and kind of not worth it. I mean, you get some really good minifigures plus Riyu. But yeah, no, the only reason the set was praised is because it's better priced compared to all other 4+ sets. And it isn't a terrible build. Like, adult fans could enjoy this build too, not just like kids who are 4 years old and want this. Now, our next set here is the Roz and Arin jet. And I saw this, one of my friends had it, and this thing looks amazing. Like, it is pretty big for like $50. You're getting a really good build. It has a little over 500 pieces, so it is unique too, and it is most definitely better than the Kai thing that we just looked at that was also $50 and also had one Dragonian villain. And yeah, getting Roz and Arin in a set like this is just really cool. I definitely think Arin should have had his black hood, but LEGO's LEGO and they're not always nice. And then our next set that we have here is the Combiner Mech. I think I love this set. Like, genuinely a Ryu based build plus you get Zane, like that is asking for everything. It was designed extremely well, like all Chi-Wing sets. I would honestly have to go to say that this is better than the previous Combiner Mech just because of how cool it is and how much motion you get in it. And I love the fact that you can split it apart and make it into all these different like cool vehicles, like a little car, a jet, Zane, and Ryu, all just like amazing parts of a LEGO set that come together. And the fact that this includes a big version of Zane that can just attach into the set so easily is absolutely awesome. Now, the minifigure selection is a little controversial. 6 figs for 100 isn't the best, but it's still pretty good overall. Our next set here has 7 figs for 40, which is awesome. You can't see, but there's a skeleton in the back. Yeah, a lot of people like this set. However, the build itself really, really does suck, and it only has like, I believe, a little over 300 pieces, but a lot of those pieces are small, so they're just wasted parts, and they're not really too useful, but overall, it's a good set. Our next set here is the Thunderfang Dragon of Chaos set, and a lot of people love this set just because you get Lloyd, Nia, Sora, and Arin in a $70 set, plus Nokt being one of the more important members of the Forbidden 5, and Thunderfang being a really good build overall. And honestly, I didn't originally like this, but after getting it, I loved it so much more. And I have to say the same with the Archdragon of Focus. No one likes the Arc Dragon Focus for some reason, but after actually getting my hands on it, I ended up liking this set a lot more. It has a great minifigure selection for $100, plus you get another spinner. That's always nice. I love getting spinners. They could have been taken out and made the set like $90 instead, but Lego is Lego, and they don't always do those kinds of things. They want more money. And then here we have the Ninjago City Workshops, and I hated this set. I just didn't like this at all. It was easily one of the worst Ninjago City sets. Like, I kind of want to get it because I want to get as many Ninjago DTCs as possible, but I just don't know if I can justify $250 for something that is kind of meh and has no good minifigures in it. And then our next set here is the Arin versus Dragonian polybag. This is the Spectral Dragonian that he's fighting. It's a great way to get an Arin minifigure for cheap, $5. Plus you get a well of the Lost in the background, which is really, really cool. A build that you can find in the show. The next set that we have here is the Kai motorcycle race, where Kai is fighting a Spectral Dragonian. This is an amazing set. Like, you get a Spectral Dragonian, sadly not with this wing pack, but you still get a Spectral Dragonian, 2 bikes, which is awesome for play, plus Kai with a Spectral, like, sword, which is just amazing. Our next set here is the Arin mech set. This set retailed for $20, actually $23 because of the price increases. It came with Riyu, which I guess is really cool, and a Spectral Dragonian. It's a nice elemental mech overall. This next set is a 4+ set. It had 2 cars in it, which for $20 is pretty solid. Actually, sorry, again, this is a $23 set because Lego increased the prices. It does come with a real blade, which is pretty cool, and I guess this was the cheapest way to get a version of Nia. This next set is the Rontu set. This set was pretty cool. You got Zarkt, you got Lloyd, Sora, and Wyldfyre and Rontu, but for $50 and a little over 400 pieces, not a lot of people like this. And Rontu's jaw looks like absolutely terrible. Like, I can't believe they actually did that, so a lot of people hate that for that reason. This set is actually also another controversial set, another amazing build by Li Wing. My friends have all told me that this set is very, very well built. Personally, I just don't like the design of it. It's a really nice chicken jockey, but yeah, no, overall, it's alright. It has cool stuff, but just I don't know if it's worth $70. Our next Ninjago set here is the Combat Vehicle, and this set is also another very controversial set because it's $100 for 500 pieces. So a lot of people have been opting to boycott this set. The other half of people have said, this set has Frak, and it's honestly, and I can agree, this set is a very good build in general. So a lot of people still have bought this despite the extreme price tag. But yeah, no, overall, it is a very, very interesting set. Now, this set here, I don't think this is as controversial. Definitely one of my favorite sets of the wave. Another Li Wing set, of course. This is the Lloyd's jet mech set. This set can turn from a jet into a mech very nicely. I've absolutely loved it. And you can also take the skull dragon thing and put it on Thunderfang and make his like bone form from the show. So that is really, really cool. All in all, I totally recommend this set. If you haven't gotten your hands on it, it is an amazing, amazing Lego set. Now, a set that I wouldn't recommend, but I don't personally have, is this Kai Legend set. And as cool as this is, it just is very short. Like, it's like half the size of the Titan Dragon mech, which is ridiculous to me. Like, I'm not paying $120 for it like this. And our next set here is the Guardian Dragon. And the Guardian Dragon, I've actually heard good things about. This set is also one of those sets that are like better display than more play. So you can't really play with it too much, and it is in a really good display position, but then again, a lot of people don't always like that. I don't personally. And then here is the Temple Bounty, another very controversial set. This is a set that honestly I didn't really like because it just felt very generic, but a lot of people love this set. I mean, hey, you get a lot of cool stuff in here, but then again, 6 minifigures for $200 is kind of crazy. Our next set here is this Temple Guard versus Zane, and then we also have Kai versus the Wolf Mask Warrior, which is great. Here we have Jay versus Cinder, which is cool. And then here we have Cole versus Drix. That's actually awesome. I didn't know Drix was in a magazine. As you're going to see with the rest of this video, every Forbidden 5 member comes in a magazine at some point, which is crazy. They took $300 worth of figs and made them 50. Here we have a Zane versus Dragonian. Arin with his mask, which is really cool, versus a Spectral Dragonian. And then we have Zarkt versus Jay. This is the one that I recently got in a magazine. Here we have Lloyd. Yeah, really cool. And then here we have Lord Roz. Next up, we have a Jay minifigure, which looks absolutely awesome. And then Morro, like, they're absolutely cooking with some of these choices. Zane, who is exclusive to the Dragon Village, but I guess not anymore. Here we have the Arin minifigure alongside a Kai minifigure, which is kind of meh. We have a Lloyd minifigure, another kind of meh figure, but we get a Spectral Dragonian, which is so expensive, so cool to get. We have Nokt, our second member of the Forbidden 5 thus far. We have Kai, which is interesting. I didn't know this actually was in a magazine. I didn't know Kai was here yet. We get someone pretty cool here. This is Cole, looks awesome. And then we have Frak over here. I really wish this released in the US because I want Frak so badly, but I can't seem to get my hands on him at all. This was Make and Take Thunderfang, and then we lastly had Tur. This is another one I got. This just released quite recently. I believe it started like at the end of December and has been going on for a little while now.
As of the time recording, this is the year that this video is being recorded in, 2026.
15th anniversary of Ninjago, so it's a pretty exciting year. Let's go through it quick. We have the Cole's Car Ladle Lego set here. This was a set that was designed by Lychee Wing. It was a $5 set, and it was supposed to be the new version of the Cole's car that we saw a long time ago. Next up, we have the Nia versus Mutation Monster Spinner Battle, another amazing set. This is a continuation of the last series of sets that we saw for the spinners. Next up is the Lloyd versus Earth Monster Spinner set, another really good looking set, especially with energy parts. That looks really cool overall. I'm happy to get some parts in green. This next set is the Kai Fire Mech Battle Pack Lego set. This set is honestly quite a beautiful set. Like, the actual build for the Dragon Mech is really well done, as you can see here. And while the minifigure selection isn't absolutely amazing, it's still solid. Definitely an awesome set for $10. Our next set here is the new Cole Golem, or also known as the Cole Mission Mech set. This set retailed for $35, which is quite expensive for a set that has a little over 300 pieces. Overall, just not something that is very great in terms of your value. The build itself looks good, but isn't actually good when you decide to play with it. So yeah, no. Like, there are stability issues, so it's definitely not a great set. Our next set here is the Riyu set, and this set is pretty cool. It is $45 and has a really good build, as well as good minifigures, but the one big bad thing here is the jaw. For some reason, he has two jaws, which has driven me crazy, like, quite genuinely. The only reason I didn't buy the set was because of the two jaws, because it just looks so bad. For roughly 380 pieces and $55, we have this new J car set. And yeah, I mean, this is alright. I guess I like the build, but it's definitely not a $60 build because the function isn't that interesting at all. And while it does come with like Dragon Kai and some other ninja, they definitely don't have shoulder armors where they need it. And just, it's generally not a $55 set for what you're getting here. Our next set here is the Treehouse Battle set, and this set retailed for $80 for roughly a little over 600 pieces. And while a lot of people don't like this because it isn't Treehouse focused, like, honestly, I think it should be, it's still a great set for kids. And I'm sure a lot of kids are going to be able to get this set and actually really like playing with it. I do hope there were some more minifigures for those children because I think that would add a lot more to the set, but it's good overall. And our next set here is not for kids. It's a 14 plus display piece, and it is absolutely amazing. The set retailed for $100 with 1,300 pieces, which is absolutely beautiful. The build itself is quite massive. It doesn't look like that in the picture, but it is very thick, so it does add a lot of value, and it's definitely a display set that every big Ninjago fan needs to have because you get so many cool minifigures as well as such a strong build. I mean, getting Maya, Ray, Wu, a Nia, and a Kai, and then alongside that, the old Elemental Master of Earth. That is all amazing to get in a set like this, and LEGO did really do a good job cooking up with this thing. As you could probably guess, this was a Lychee Wing set. Our next set here is the Dragon of Life. This is the Arc Dragon of the Whispering Ruin, to be specific, and while it is an alright set at $110 for, I believe, roughly 1,100 pieces, it still is kind of mid for what you're getting. Like, you're not getting a lot here. That makes it super valuable, and the wing function on the set is so cooked, it really makes it hard to justify such a price tag. It definitely has solid figs though. This next set here is the $300 Old Town set. It had 4,800 pieces, which is pretty awesome for the price tag. I can't lie, I actually didn't really love this set just because the general concept of it didn't really feel like a D2C set despite having a pretty expensive price tag of $300. However, there's still a lot of cool parts to this set, and I definitely think that Lychee Wing, being the designer, designed this thing extremely well because there are so many cool, awesome design techniques that were used to make this set amazing. And the minifigure selection, while controversial, is still pretty solid overall. Our next set here is the Monastery Display Anniversary Stand Gate. It comes with the Elemental Blaster of Lightning, which for some reason is not shown. But you also get Oldie Ninja for $45 and 447 pieces, plus a part of the monastery, which is one of the most important parts in the entire show. So honestly, overall, this is a beautiful looking set, and LEGO did a great job. Our next set here is this $20 4+ mech battle set. This has the mutation monster and a dragon form of J. And honestly, for $20 and a 4+ set, this set looks really good. I'm sure like the 4-year-olds will love it with these like big mechs. But yeah, no, great job LEGO on this one. They're definitely making 4+ sets better. Our next set here is the $130 Lloyd's Titan Mech set. And this set is quite expensive. It is very big. It has 1,300 pieces. So there is some justification in the price in what they've done here. It does come with Hybridus, which is not showed here. But overall, yeah, it's a pretty solid set. 130 is a bit much, but you're getting a lot of cool stuff for it. A lot of people don't know about these, but these are little LEGO sets that were released by Blue Ocean. I don't know if they've been released yet as of February of 2026, but this is a little Kai bike set, and then this is a little Lloyd mech set. Yeah, I don't know what the context of these, but they look like they're going to be coming in tins and probably part of some kind of magazine. And our next build over here is this Make-A-Take that was at an event at some kind of mall. I honestly forgot, but this Make-A-Take will probably be appearing at some other stores in the future. And yeah, it's the Dragon of Life Micro. And for our next Legacy magazine set here, we have our Rocks versus Kai. We haven't seen the tin yet, but yeah, this is generally how it's going to look, and this is what it's going to have. For our first minifigure of the Ninjago magazine of this year, we have Kerr over here, who was following Tyr from the end of last year, and this minifigure looks pretty solid for what you're getting overall. I mean, she was exclusive to a $110 set, so getting her in a magazine is awesome. Jay, on the other hand, was exclusive to an $80 set, so I guess it is really cool that people are getting this. I mean, I don't think a lot of people want to get to the treehouse just for him anyway. And then we also have this Zane minifigure. Actually, I can't even say it's a minifigure. It's a big version. In fact, this is the Zane from the Combiner mech that they have decided to bring back after this J. And I think it's really cool. It's not the exact version that we got to see in the Combiner mech, but I guess it's still really cool for what you're getting. I mean, getting 99 pieces in a little magazine for $5 is pretty solid. Our last set to end this video is not really a great set, but this is the new Kai X1 Charger set. And don't get me wrong, I actually like the build. Like, I think they do have a lot here. But man, the price tag being asked for a set like this, like $90, like, hey, we're getting the cool functions and everything, but $90, this thing is not worth $90 at 690 pieces. Like, this build just simply isn't good enough. And the minifigures are very interesting. We're getting a new Dust minifigure, which honestly, I think looks absolutely terrible. Like, the design, like the printing done on her figure just doesn't look right. It doesn't feel like an actual like Lego minifigure. It doesn't seem to bring over the Lego design. So yeah, I don't like this fig at all. This is genuinely such a sorry excuse for a Cryptor minifigure. The fact that there's only one of them really sucks. Like, you could have just copy and pasted this minifigure and made like a few Ninjoids for Kai to fight. And then of course your generic Kai minifigure because they couldn't do anything else. And yeah, overall, I really hate this figure selection. Yeah, 3 minifigures for $90 is like genuinely beyond me. And the last minifigure for the anniversary wave, that is Dusk. And I'm not going to get this set. Like, I need this last minifigure to complete everything, but I'm still not going to get this set because I don't care enough. Like, Lego can tell me, oh, you need these 7 minifigures to complete the set, but this is a bad minifigure. This is bad design. It's locked under a terrible set. I'm not going to go out of my way to get it. So yeah, good build, honestly, but the price tag sucks so badly. Like, this should have been 70 max, if not like 60 or 50.
But yeah, to conclude this video, I do want to do a few things. I kind of want to talk about a few common trends I saw between sets. There were 166 appearances of Kai across all Ninjago sets, which is kind of crazy. Jay has a total of 131. Cole has a total of 112. Zane has 3 more at 115. Nia has significantly less at 87 appearances. Lloyd has 140 appearances. And Master Wu has 59 appearances. Garmadon has 38 appearances. Arin here has 26 appearances and is tied with Sora, who also has 26 appearances. Wyldfyre is the lowest of the ninja team with 10 appearances, and I guess if you count Riyu, he has like 5 appearances, and then Pixal has 7 total appearances. And yeah, from here, I'm just going to talk about a few of the other general trends that I saw between these sets because there were some interesting things. First things first, pricing. Pricing was very interesting because at the very start, it wasn't that great. Like 2011 didn't have amazing pricing, but when you got to 2018, pricing became beautiful. Like, you got these sets with tons and tons of pieces, great figures, great builds for really cheap prices. And that lasted all the way up until 2021 when like Seabound came around. And then when Seabound did come around, the prices went up. And so they did with crystallized and other stuff too, and then since then it's been very expensive to get Ninjago sets. Minifigure quality. I think minifigure quality has just went up. Like, you've been able to see a ton of new minifigures with dual molds and lots of different printing on legs. There are just so many cool things about the minifigures that we get today, especially when you compare it with the past, and you could see that there's a lot more time and effort put into these new minifigures in general, and that too, we get tons of suits. Like, I know back in the day with 2011 we got roughly 2 suits an year, but now we're getting even more. We're getting tons of different variants of suits, and with all these specialized pieces, like again, dual molds or just really good printing. So I think minifigures have definitely went up. Like, we do have some downsides like every here and there, but generally the quality of the minifigures that we're getting for the prices we're paying is pretty good overall.
Our next thing that I want to talk about are types of sets. We've started to see a lot less villain sets as well as spinner sets in general. Like in 2011, that's what the theme was originally based around. Like we got so many cool villain sets, we got so many cool spinner sets, and now there is none. And to tell you the truth, I think they did have a lot, in fact, too many spinner and like villain sets back in the day, but it's come to this point where there are like none of them anymore. So I kind of wish that we still had some capacity of spinner sets and some capacity of villain sets. And like, yes, we do get villain sets like a bit like here and there, like once a year, but I would prefer to have a couple more because I think that some villain sets can be really cool. And then as for spinner sets, we do get spinner sets, but we don't get spinner like actual like Lego sets, like spinners that can interact with other Lego sets too often. It's kind of crazy to think that we've gone to the point where this video is 2 hours long, which is, yeah, no, just crazy. But yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun making this video. I want to thank you guys for being here. If you actually watched the entire video and came to this point, you are literally a legend. If you actually got this far, comment Ultra Stealth Raider in the comments below, and I will give your comment a heart. It genuinely means so much to me when people like watch my videos. So if you got to this point and you comment down below, I would really love to see it. I want to see who's watched this vlog, and if you did, even if there was only one person, it would genuinely make my day. So thank you guys so much for watching this video if you've gone to this point, and I guess that is it for this video. Bye.